All right, folks, in here tonight with ZWade Photo already, and waiting to see if TMIDD is going to make it, and Ryan Troy. So as they join, we'll drop them in to the window. Chat is open, and I've got, hang on a second. We're going to try this tonight, folks. There's a phone number at the bottom there. You can call in and speak directly to any of the guests. So we'll give it a shot. Here's TMIDD. Hang on just a second. Hey, TMIDD, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on? How's everybody doing?
Good. Good to have you with us, TMIDD. Chuck, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you guys are more than welcome.
Great. I'm going to come over and eat your food and drink your drinks, and if I'm welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we got a phone number in here tonight, TMIDD, so folks can call the phone number, and I'm still working on this. I've got it set up. I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll give it a shot as soon as somebody calls and wants to talk to you guys.
Oh yeah, this going to be interesting. You got the whole thing set up, huh?
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to make it as interactive as I can so people can join and actually be part of what we're talking about and everything else.
Sounds like Uncle Scott eating all the food. I don't know who Uncle Scott is, but that's me. If you invite me over for dinner, I'm gonna eat. I'm not gonna be like, I'm not sure, thank you, but.
Oh, you're not shy.
Nah. Well, in here, Woody in here already. My daughter's in here. Yep. Agnetha, welcome. All right, so kind of got off jumbled start here. Sorry about that for everybody. But do you know if Ryan's going to make it, TMIDD?
Yeah, he was just telling me actually that he's about to log on. Let me just check my phone really quick.
All right, I am Hassan. Nice to see you in here. Hope you're well.
Yeah, I sent them over the stream.
Okay. So we got all you portrait photographers in here. Everybody's got a little different technique. Everybody does something a little bit different, but all of you show your work, and that's important. People want to, if they're going to listen to you, they want to see what you produce, as you know. So I'm sure there's some questions out there, and I don't blame them. You know, that's why I'm really not in the middle of this conversation. I'm just going to sit out here and try to keep everything running for you guys.
Yeah, here lately, as far as my YouTube channel it's growing like fast. I was hovering around like a couple of hundred subscribers for like a really long time, and just in the last like 15 days, it's jumped up to almost 600. And most of it is like the gear talk. People want that gear talk, but like what I'm missing so much is actually getting out and like shooting. And I used to do that in my early days of making YouTube content, and it's just gotten to where like people weren't eating it up, but I'm like, man, screw what they want, dude. I want to get out and shoot and show what I'm shooting. So I'm going to be doing some through the EVF shooting coming up here soon. I'm super excited for it.
All right, guys, hang on just a second.
We got our first caller.
We got a phone call. I like this, Chuck.
Yeah,
yeah, this is fire. I like it.
I'm hoping that. Hang on a second, caller, if you can hear us.
Caller number 5.
You guys got to give me a second. This is the first shot at this, and really hoping we can put it together so people can talk. So, caller, hang on just a second, and let me change a few things here real quick. Back to my MacBook Pro speakers. All right. I don't know if it's working or not because hello. Hello. Oh, that's where we're at. Yeah, there is a delay. There's going to be a lot of latency. So, all right, folks, can you guys hear the caller? Go ahead, sir. Yeah, I can hear it, but I don't think they can. So I got another step I've got to take here and figure out. I don't. All right, Woody. Thanks, man. Jump back in the chat. We'll figure it out. I'll get everybody going, and I'll sit back here and try to fix this.
I see you, Mike. Can I win some concert tickets? I was waiting on that comment whenever I said caller number 5. I was waiting for somebody to ask what they won.
All right,
You won
so-
tickets to see the Wiggles on Broadway.
Yeah, I've got another. I'm sure another button I've got to push somewhere. So, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah,
All right.
that's gonna be a nice feature.
Yeah, it works through the Rodecaster Pro, but I don't know why you guys aren't hearing it, and I don't know. I'll figure it out. At least I got the line now, so I had to go. I got another line. I had another phone, so I thought let's do this. So I got a phone number, and it's specifically for this.
Oh man.
So I noticed, and this is something you guys need to be aware of. If I can find the right button to push, there's going to be a lot of latency. We're talking real time, and on the other end, they're behind by about 4 or 5 seconds. So if they ask a question, you're going to have to wait. Oh, here we go. Here comes Michael.
Yeah, maybe you could use them as a test.
The one you need to, you're going to have to shut the, oh shoot, the sound down on your feed, because you're going to get a lot of feedback. Now the question is, can we get you in here into the chat to ask a question or say something? Sir. Okay. Okay. Well, hang on just a second. Let me see if I can make this work again. All right, guys. I'm not going to spend all night trying to do this, but we're going to give it a shot. All right, Mike.
Okay. You bet.
It's working.
Go ahead, Mike.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, sounds good.
So you guys are hearing Mike?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm not hearing
Really?
him.
I can't hear. I
But
mean,
that's
I can't hear
okay.
myself.
All
But I
right,
turned
Mike.
down
Sounds
my-
good, man. Now I just got to figure the next step out. But all right, so we know it's going to work. You got a question for either of these guys before we hang up?
Nope, not really. I was just kind of trying to throw you a bone to see if it wasn't like a phone issue. You know, like a cell phone carrier issue or something.
Right on. So I think, Chuck, what we'll do, since you can't hear the question, is whenever they ask the question, whoever they direct the question to, we'll say the question was, that way the question was blah, 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 so on and so forth, and then we'll answer the question
All right.
if it's not working for you.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying.
But I turned up there's probably a good 15, 20 seconds lag on that.
Oh. Wait a minute.
That'll do it, Chuck, if you put your headphones on.
Yeah, maybe that'll help. Mike, you there?
Yeah.
All right, so we got it working. Hey, man, I appreciate you calling so we can figure this out. So now anybody that calls in tonight, we will be able to make it work.
Groovy.
There you go. So, yeah, there is a little bit of lag, though. So, okay?
All right, thanks a lot, Mike.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet. Bye-bye, Chuck.
All right, gentlemen. Oh, it's always something.
Always something.
No, you have a nice setup, Chuck.
It is, man.
Trying,
He's
man.
got a beautiful studio over there. Look at
You
that.
guys
He's
need
got
to put to work.
He's got the grids. He's got the is that the 200 back there that I see?
Let me see.
It's
This way.
It's a cardboard cutout.
That is the 80 to 400 that's on the D500 right now, and then this is the 400 2.8. I'm sorry, that's got the D500 on it. The other one has the D850.
Oh, I didn't know you had the 400-2.8.
Yep. Uh-oh. Surprise. Welcome,
Hey,
Mr.
there he is.
I can't hear nothing yet. Give me 1 second.
This is a night of
Hold up.
sound issues, audio.
Hold up. 1 second. I can hear y'all now. What's going on, everybody?
What's up? I don't know about you guys, but in my imagination, I hear that cartoon airplane.
Is my mic okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just making sure.
You sound good as always.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that.
Yeah, like
How's it
zero
going,
reverb.
Agnetha?
Sounds great.
We're doing okay, Ryan. We kicked it off, and I've got this phone line now, and I've got it connected. And I think we got it figured out. So anybody that calls in, they can speak directly to you with a question or whatever. So I'm gonna let you guys take off here in a second. So quick news update. If you haven't been over to Nikon Rumors, I think that they've nailed it now that Z9 is going to ship this week, probably the 24th, as we've heard. Very limited number of cameras in this first round. So if anybody was waiting on it soon, it's probably not going to happen. He wasn't absolutely sure of the numbers, but he has somebody that told him, Peter over at Nikon Rumors, that it would be this week and that the cameras will be in short supply. I don't know what that means. I talked to my camera store this morning. They called me and asked me if I was still interested in the 1 to 400. I said yes. I paid them for the for the lens, and they're shipping it. Probably won't ship to me until Monday. And I asked about the Z9. The guy was very nice. He wouldn't tell me whether they had NPS members cameras there, or they had NPS sales that were there or not. But he did say there is a chance because I'm number one on the list. So I only say that not to brag, but to tell everybody that there may be a chance if you ordered at a smaller store and if you're way up on the list that you could get the Z9 here real soon. So that's what we know right now. If you're a Z9 hunter, that's the information that I've got. So, and
I wish
beyond that, go ahead.
I wish I could buy Nikon gear through my local camera store. That is the one thing, because I consider myself a Nikon fanboy, but the one thing I don't like about Nikon, and Canon does it too, is that they really won't support really like small stores. Sony doesn't care. Sony will let anybody sell their stuff, but Canon was the last one to pull their gear from this little shop. They won't send them anything to sell anymore. And I think that's really kind of shoddy. I don't know why they do that. I'm sure there's a business reason for it, but
when I say my local camera store, it's really out in Salt Lake City because I spent so much time out there and they took care of me while I was there. I continue to buy from them. And I'm expecting to hear either hey, sorry, or hey, congratulations here by the end of, the end of next week. So then we have Christmas and everything else, and everybody will be, jolly and happy and won't care whether it's shipped or not. But all right. So tonight we have TMIDD. We have Ryan Troy.
Also, I want to say thank you for the compliment for the pajamas. I didn't skip over it. I didn't want to interrupt.
Man, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize it either. I'm too busy trying to orchestrate the control room here. But 3 portrait photographers, different techniques, maybe different editing between them. But I'm going to turn it loose to you, the audience, everybody that's out there. If you have a question, drop it in chat. And you see the phone number at the bottom, we'll give that a shot. If you have a question you want to ask personally to any one of the 3 that are in here, by all means, give us a call and tell them what you, or ask the question that you want an answer to. With that, I'll get out of the way. And guys, one more thing. Let me ask a question of you 3 and the audience. Is it ever too late to get in, to become a paid photographer? speaking for myself, I mean, how far into it do you? I mean, how young should you be, or how old should you be, or whatever? Because I'm not a paid photographer, but who knows? I may go down that route. But at 61, how much longevity do I have? What are you guys thinking? Take it away from there.
Who wants to go
Who
first?
want to go first?
Well, I'll start off with Chuck. If you get that Z9, you can ship it down here to Maryland, and I'll do some portraits for you, and then send it back.
Or you can just come to Connecticut and we can do a collab.
Yeah, so it's funny because I was actually up that way. I rode through and went to Rhode Island and did something up there. But yeah, no, in terms of being a paid photographer, I think it's never too late, especially from my perspective, where I started as a hobbyist, and I still consider myself a hobbyist because I don't necessarily do it for the money. But when when it's kind of like, so YouTube has kind of been like a good thing for me because I get to create what I want to create. And the good effect to that is that once I'm creating what I want to create, that's also practice. So I'm
Yeah.
also getting better at the craft. And so in terms of that, people see my work, and that's where money comes from that I'm not even really aiming to get.
Okay. Ryan, I want to hold you to last because you went uh, totally professional, paid photographer. It's your business. And you've done a
Correct.
lot of great videos talking about the backside of being a photography business. And so I'm going to hold you.
Okay.
We'll take Zach over there, ZWade Photo, because I know he hasn't quit his day job yet, but he's doing a lot of photography. Take it away, Zach.
So, I don't think it's ever too late to start charging for photography, but I do think that there is a time that's too early. Because a lot of people, like, they start shooting and they instantly like want to start making money. First of all, it is not easy to like make money in photography, especially like if you live in an area like I live in, where it seems like everybody shoots and everybody charges and everybody is pretty good, right? So there's a lot of competition in this area. I always tell people that you have to be honest with yourself before you start charging. Like, you have to step back and you have to look at your work and look at other people's work before you start charging people. If you're like, I've got to, maybe you need to step up your game a little bit before you start charging, because the last thing you want to do is start like working and then like have like a bad product. And so that's not to like discourage people from doing it from a business sense, but you have to be honest with yourself before you start charging, and you need to like charge like appropriately. So
And I think
if
that's the difficult part for
it is
most new
extremely
photographers.
difficult.
Extremely.
There are there are photographers that specifically shoot like destination weddings for 10, 20, 30,000 bucks,
Yeah.
and they can get away with it because they are that good and they've
Well,
worked that long. But that's not everybody, you know.
yeah.
So
And I wanted to say that your confidence in what you're producing, I think, helps you when you start to price yourself for photography. Hold that. I'm going to let Ryan Troy answer this question because he has his own photography business. So I know you've had a lot of these talks with Anthony Toglife too, and they're all interesting. So now I'm going to turn it over to you and let's hear it.
So honestly, I like what both said, especially with as far as starting too early. I think it's a lot of people that start too early as far as charging. I've been doing photography since 2009, and I started charging a little early as well, but I knew what I could charge for and what I couldn't charge for. So even now, I don't feel real comfortable shooting weddings. So I just don't do it. And I feel like if I did it, I would probably undercharge myself because I I know that I'm not giving them what a person that does it on a regular basis does, and it'll be more for experience for myself. And I'm comfortable with that. I'm okay with that. But I want to make sure the client knows my level of experience when it comes to that. Now, me personally, I am a off-camera flash photographer, and I saw another comment earlier about people that shoot and like overexposed to sky. And it's a lot of people that do that because a lot of people don't understand flash. So I feel like this is where like me and TMIDD are like real similar, because he does a lot of off-camera flash as well. So that makes me stand out. And since it makes me stand out, that's probably the majority of where my money comes from, because it's so many other photographers that do the same thing where I am. And since it's only a handful of off-camera flash photographers, it kind of make us unique. So I'm trying to think of the question again. So
So is it ever, are you ever too
too
old to
late.
say
Right.
you wanna
So
start
no, right. I
photography?
remember. I'm sorry. So as long as you can take a photo, you can get paid for doing it, regardless. When you think of any other type of art, whether it's sculptures, whether it's painting, as long as you are good at what it is you do, and somebody wants it, you can get paid from it. Period. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's so many older photographers that still shoot film, never learn digital, and they still can make money because their uniqueness is what people pay for. You know, it's you got to give them something that they
Absolutely
want.
agree.
You brought up the point of confidence in yourself to do something before you would be willing to put a price on it. And I think that's super important. I think a lot of guys jump the gun and maybe they overprice themselves or underprice themselves as well. So I think being confident in what you're doing, your skill level would really help. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. So the question though, talking about age, you know, you guys have started early enough that you're building a name for yourself and you're building, you know, a word of mouth is as good as advertising. And I think that helps because it boosts your business. Um, and it takes, you know, a few years to even begin to settle into a comfortable income, I would guess. You know, but somebody my age, you know, I'm 65. Let's talk about the discrimination factor. How, how confident are people when they see this white haired old man walk in with two cameras strapped around in his shoulders, and wanting to provide that service? You would think that they would know beforehand, hopefully, but how much of a shock is that going to be to
I would
somebody?
I would trust you before some like large rimmed scarf wearing hipster. I would be like, this guy looks like he's got experience. This other guy looks like he shoots film because it's retro. And that's not the mentality I want. Not there's nothing wrong with film. I'm just saying like some young guy that kind of pops onto the scene. He's like, "What's up, guys?" Like it just had some like coffee and took pictures of it. Let's do a shoot. Like if you walked in, two cameras, gray hair, I'd be like, I bet that guy's been shooting a long time.
I
Yeah.
want to. Oh, go ahead. You want to go?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is, because me personally, I'm 34, and like I said, I started in my early 20s. One thing that I've learned, actually, I got two things to say. One thing that I learned was, as I got older, and I have a little bit of gray in my hair. You probably can't in my beard. You probably can't see it, but as I got a little older, people started respecting me more to pay me. When I was younger, it was always let's collab, let's collab, let's collab. And as I got older, I think maybe I just grew out of that fun crowd of, hey, because I lived in New York City at that time, where it's like, let's just go out and let's just create some stuff. I have 3 children now, and you know, so every time I go out, it's going to be for a pay. Not saying I don't do anything for free. I do like the collab, but that's all on, you know, on how I do it. And the second thing I wanted to say is, you have Vahagan on here. And me and Vahagan had a talk with this, and I can't pronounce his name, but he's a wedding photographer. And his name was like Yvert or something like that.
Oh yeah, his guest he had on for the interview.
Right. And he's older. I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's older. And what he spoke about was building his brand and people booking him because they love his style of photos. And he's been doing this for years, and he's going to pass his business down to his children. So when it comes to age, honestly, I really think that we have more of an advantage the older you get. Not saying if you're young, you can't make money, you still can. But it's just all on how you present yourself and how you present your business. But age, in my personal opinion, I just think it's no, it's nothing that should stop you just because you're a little bit older.
Well, TMIDD?
Yeah, I think especially if you have the gear, they touched on a lot of good things, especially ZWade Charging before. You really should, because let me tell you, I opened up Facebook to get the link to come into this stream, and a picture, that the first studio picture that I ever took, popped up. And I'm looking at this picture like, wow, I don't even know how I charged for that.
I think it's all of us, though. We can look back and say, whoa.
Yeah,
I think that helps your confidence too, because you realize that you have improved.
I think just like one more point before we maybe take on another question. At least for me, like not with like photography. Obviously, I know what to look for if I was going to like hire a photographer, but for other like services that I may be like inquiring of, I guess age has just really never like played a factor. For me, it's how like somebody carries themselves. So like on my channel and on my live stream, like you'll see like an unapologetic version of myself. I crack jokes, I'm high energy, but as soon as I go out and meet with a client, there's no swear words, there's no like and this and blah 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 blah. It's very refined, because that's what I want from somebody that I'm inquiring about a service. Like you carry yourself differently in a professional way. And so young or old, somebody that like talks, they're talking business and they're like, well, like if they're twirling their hair or doing whatever they do, it's like, I don't want to hire you. So I don't think age has anything to do with it. Like if you got the chops to charge, start charging, man. Start making money. Your time is worth something if you've got the chops for it.
So I got to recognize my daughter, guys. That's my daughter, my baby.
Hi, Courtney.
How's it going, Courtney?
Oh, all right. You guys answered that well. Not that I'm planning to go open my photography business. That's something I have thought about later down the road. Yeah, I might be at a point where I need to start doing that. And I have a lot of people that ask me to do photo. I do a lot of headshots and things like that for very close friends and family and things like that. But I haven't advertised or done anything to promote a business of photography. So
there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with the side hustle either. Like I'm perfectly happy. Like I love my actual career job, and for the most part, I've been handing off small weddings, which I'll do small weddings. If I never did a wedding again, I'd be totally happy. But I've been handing off like paid work and like stuff I could probably easily do. I've been handing it off to other people that like I trust. I'm like, hey, go hit up this guy or that girl or whatever, just because right now I'm in the mood to do the things I want to do. So in the wintertime in Kansas, it gets pretty chilly. And I want to use that time to do dramatic portraiture in studio and bodyscapes, because that's kind of like my two favorite things to do. And so, but like whenever it's nice outside, if maybe I want to get a lens or whatever, I just side hustle it, man. There's nothing wrong with that if you don't want a full time. Although I do think full time would be a lot of fun. I mean, that's like a dream job, but I don't try hard enough to get it.
And it's stressful. It's extremely stressful.
You don't have a paycheck, like a regular one.
And the thing about it also, I don't know if you're trying to move to the next, but I just wanted to piggyback off of that. So the thing about it is I live now in Columbus, Ohio, and before, so I lived in New York City. It's so many photographers in New York City. It was my side hustle at that point, but business didn't pick up for me there. But when I moved to Columbus, that's the only, in my opinion, that's what allowed me to go full time with it, is because I got so many customers basically here. It's like it just was a bigger market for it here. So sometimes as well, like if I was to move to New York City, I don't think I could do this full time. I lived in Houston for a year. I don't think me personally could do this full time. It's possible, but I just know when I moved here, I wasn't expecting to do it full time, but business just picked up so much that I was able to. And as an entrepreneur, you don't just do one thing. We still have, or at least I still have other side hustles where I'm making money from other things as well. It's just photography is my main source of income. I still have other side hustles as well.
Hey,
So
I respect you, Ryan, for taking that leap. I really do, because you brought up something right there that is a long discussion. I don't think most people understand the hassle of having a business. You did a video on that, and I think that was very good. Actually, talking about the minimal amount of money that you would need to
Oh
start
yeah.
a photography business, and most people don't understand that then shooting is the least thing you do in the business, and it's the thing you started it for. I think that sometimes a lot of people are just going to be scared away once they realize how much the business takes to maintain.
To me,
definitely.
photography is like it's a really hard thing. Well, I mean, it's easy for me because like I switched to like an hourly type, like an hourly type way to charge. But photography in general, to me, is kind of like hard to price, and a lot of people get screwed up because it's like you have to charge for your time. You should be charging for wear and tear. Like you should be charging for editing. I know a bunch of photographers that they'll go out and they'll shoot like a 1 hour mini session for $50. I'm like, you're not making any money. You're making like $2 an hour, because like you're not charging for wear and tear. You're barely charging for your time. You didn't charge for the gas, and you get home and like you're not charging for the editing. It's like you're at like a net. You're negative.
Yeah.
It's
That's just
it's
part of
it's
learning
really
the business.
it's really hard to calculate something that it's like you're not punching out anymore. Somebody else isn't calculating like how many hours you worked or anything like that. Like that's all that's happening at your desk, and it's freaky. You need to do your research before you really dive into putting a lot of time into trying to like make part of your income from it. It's not exactly black and white.
So we've got a couple of questions. You guys want to respond to that, by all means do, but try to get into some of the questions that we got on over here in the chat window. And I appreciate you guys are actually participating and writing back, or adding answers in there. But anyway, so I am Hassan asked, how did each of you decide what type of photography you wanted to do? We I don't want to spend all night, because each one of us could talk about what started us into photography, but what specifically interested you in portrait photography?
Who wants to go first?
I can if you want me to.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Ryan.
Okay.
Go for it.
What interested me and what made me interested in portrait photography was people. I find people interesting, and everybody's different. The way you portray a person to me is it's a real sentimental type of thing, So that's what drew me into portraits. It's just I have the power, I have the ability to portray this person however I want to. So that's powerful to me. So I don't know, that does it for me. It's just that.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, I can kind of piggyback off of that, but also in terms of me taking up photography was more so geared towards YouTube, and so for content purposes, for me, the easiest and most accessible thing for me were people, and also my older brother did it, so it kind of like trickled down as something that I could go into.
I
Zach,
think
what drove you to people and portraits?
what got me into portraiture was, well, whenever I first started shooting, I tried everything, and I enjoy shooting photography like equally as much as I enjoy editing. And I feel like human beings are the most versatile things to photograph. So for the most part, even if I do something commercial, like service wise, senior photos, I always go to myself. Like I deliver the stuff that they're going to want to see. And then I go into editing because everyone's skin edits a little bit different. And like for me, I love black and white photography. And like the darker somebody's skin, the more beautiful and silvery and shiny the black and white is, right? And so it's just really versatile. So if you're shooting a landscape, you had the landscape. You can't control the landscape. But with a human, you can move the hair in front of one eye, or you can drape something over. And so you could take one subject and just do like 1,000 things with it in an hour. And that's what I like. I like creating and doing things, you know. So like that's what got me into it. It's just versatile.
Okay, so you're on the more creative side of the portrait shooting. I like that. I would be too if I were in it. I'm
Get
not
in
going
it,
to
Chuck.
I'm going to render, or I'm going to edit what I like. And if I were doing this as a business, I would expect people see that and say, I want the same look in my photos. Otherwise, why would they bother with me? But I won't go into me. If I was shooting what I want, it'd be sports and action. I love it. I just thrive on it. But anyway,
Wait a minute. You got to tell us. You got to tell us why. We told you why we did portraits. You got to let us know.
I, you know, just like you thrive on catching the perfect pose. That perfect pose that just says exactly what you want that photo or the model to say. For me, it's the excitement of catching that decisive moment.
Right when the ball leaves the fingers.
I shot a lot of, well, I don't even want to do the cliche photos. I like, and I'm different that way. With shooting motocross, I didn't just shoot riders in the air over a jump. I mean, everybody does that. So I'm looking for something nobody else is capturing. And I may shoot 2,000, 3,000 photos in one motocross day. But out of that, I'll find 15 or 20 that nobody else captured because they weren't even looking for it. To me, that's what I enjoy. It could be any action sport, you know, whatever, running or, you know, some sort of athletic sporting event. But I would always look for something that nobody else is capturing because I think that's, excuse me, I think that's the flattering moment when your eye caught something they have never tried to capture. So, and I'm sure you guys do the same thing with portraits. You're looking for something. You want it to be great, but there's always one shot that's like, that's exactly what I was looking for. I see it when I watch you guys shooting.
That's definitely true. I know ZWade just talked about black and white, you know, photos. I love those also. I wanted to try to tap into this screen share capability and just test it out if we can, Chuck.
Yeah, if you guys want to do that, and what I want you to do, yeah, showcase a photo, but we're gonna have to limit how much time we spend. We're gonna, you know, you guys are gonna get tired and want to go home. I know you're home, but yeah, if you're ready, let's go, TMIDD. I threw this comment up here because it went along with what Ryan was saying. You know, diversification, at least early on. I agree. I think that might be a good idea in photography if you can do that. So
just a quick point on what Mega Briarpatch said. You know what the best paying, easiest to get photography jobs are the least sexy. You're probably not going to get a job as a fashion photographer, but real estate and like boring products, all that stuff that's just that's not sexy. There's actually not a lot of competition in that. It's pretty easy to like pick up those unsexy, seemingly boring jobs, but just go into it with the mindset like if you've got money, I want it, you know.
And that's what pays. Stuff
I'm
like
telling
that
you.
actually pays, you know. I talk about this. Everybody pick a camera up and they want to shoot models. They see magazines, they want their stuff on that. But when you think that's not the stuff that really pays, like, you know, like what he just said, like real estate. Think about it. You have these people that do listings on apartments, on houses. They need professional photos. And if you get in with a real estate agent, I have a couple of friends that do real estate. I don't have the lenses for it. But you know, that's steady business. And then
Yep.
product photography, food photography, you got restaurants, Uber Eats, they want, you know, they have their, it's so many ways. You just got to think outside of exactly what you may have started it for.
Hey, Mr.
If you want
Ryan,
to go to money round.
that is a topic for one of your videos to cover
What's
all
that?
those possibilities.
Oh, true. No, that's true. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Photo Me Ike's in the house.
Follow me, Ike.
What's
What's up,
going
my
on,
guy?
Ike?
I just like that, like all of these people that I started listening to while I work. Once all of the old channels that I used to listen to started doing like weird stuff that I like wasn't into, it's like they're all in here. It's like all of these, like everyone here is like they're all like my guys now. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody else got off on some bullshit, and I'm just like, I can't listen to it anymore.
All right, TMIDD, cue it up, man. Let's make this happen.
All right, let's see. We're going to test out. This is a black and white shot that I did in my home studio, and let's see if we can get it going here.
Look at that skin tone. It's just so silvery. I love it.
So this, I actually did this the Nikon D850, and inside like my home studio, I used the 70 to 200 just because I love the compression on it. And so I have a 2 light setup right here. I got a beauty dish as the main light with a 22-inch beauty dish with a grid, and I think I had the Godox 8300 Pro on there. And then on the right side, you can see I have a back rim light with the Godox 8200 and a strip box with a grid just to get a rim. Now, you know, I always look back at my photos at what I probably would have done different. Now, back at that time, this was like January 2021. So as I look at this photo now, I probably would have added another rim light on the other side. That's something that I think I probably would have did, but you know, at this point right here, I was definitely happy with it.
It looks like a Calvin Klein photo. You know,
Yeah, so that was the theme. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, good shot, man. Just a side point of that, there is a perfect amount of light, I think, on her face. It's just like perfectly,
Oh, yeah.
like the shade of it is absolutely perfect. Looks great.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I've been watching you for a while, TMIDD, and you know, I like what you do. I like what you do in your videos by always talking about your light setup.
Oh,
I know you do too, Ryan, but TMIDD is just in his, and the other thing I like about you, and anybody that doesn't watch you needs to go over and start following you, is you are showing people what can be done in a small home studio.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Don't look past that. That is something that people need to see that are trying to figure out, where am I going to shoot if I want to do that? And you show it well in your, you know, studio, small home studio, and it works great. So yeah, hats off.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a true testament.
Lighting is one of those things that a lot of photographers, that's like the last thing they learn, and that is such a mistake. That is such a mistake. Like, I mean, I shot just like natural light for like a really long time, and the first time I tried to take out a flash, I totally dicked it up, and I was like, this is terrible. But you know, I did my homework a little bit, and actually I put myself in front of a camera, and I tested out flash for hours on myself doing self-portraits, figured out what I was trying to do, and I almost can't go out without at least like a small flash rig. It's just the difference between you using flash well and somebody not using flash. It's like you're playing yourself if you're not doing it. Like, get in on it early.
Let's face it. It sounds cliche, but photography is light. And whether it's natural or off camera flash, on camera flash, you have to know how to use the light. So, I mean, that's what it's all about. Ryan, did you
is.
figure out the share screen piece?
Let me try right now. Okay, so here we go. I'm just gonna go through. I'll just go through it real quick. I don't know if I'll be able to break it down like TMIDD did, so I'm just gonna go through it quick. So this
Good
was
composition.
off cam. Thank you. This was off camera flash as well. Oh, you can
got
see my
full screen
mouse.
right there.
You said what?
Is that full screen?
This is this is full
Oh,
screen.
okay.
Okay, so this is another. This is I like
that's
to do. Thank you. I like to do macro. So this is with a macro lens right here, and this is beauty. Let me see if I could kind of zoom.
Yeah, give us that skin detail.
Yeah, because when it comes to macro, you can really, get those details like that. So usually, when I do close up beauty shots or something like that, I really wanted to go with a Hunger Games vibe for this. So like just that color into it. That's that one. This is
like
black and
this
white.
one.
You like this one?
Oh
This
yeah.
is black and white, and I love black and white photos, but I have a hard time making my photos black and white. Okay. I did this years ago, but it was around Halloween. I just liked the vibe that it gave me.
Yeah.
I did this one as well. This is when I was in Houston.
There's the creativity, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is another one of my beauty shots. This is also a macro right here. So I try to get in, see if you could get the detail in it.
Yeah. We could see you in the eye, man.
Yeah. This was what I did for another model. She was just finishing up in the military. Her, and then right here, I think this is the last one actually.
Man, I love
no,
that
this one.
cocoa background. I've got one too.
Yeah, the mocha.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I
then-
I do not have a mocha background, but I am buying one right now.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah. So it's just like I love my macro lens. So yeah, that's it.
Beautiful.
That's all I got.
I love the creativity though. And that's something I really want to try to showcase on the channel is let everybody know that, Nikon is a, creative tool as well. And that's the whole thing here, guys. Don't care if somebody comes in here and they shoot Canon or whatever, that's fine. But I just want to give Nikon some credit. And you guys do that, all of you. And that's the stuff that a lot of people don't see. So hopefully there's some exposure tonight amongst people that don't typically follow you, and they'll jump on board and see what you're producing. All right, Zach, you're up, buddy.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay, let me see if I can. This may bring up the wrong screen first. Okay, now I can select it. Okay, so I before this, I just kind of picked out like a variety of some things, some over edits, some very minimal. So this was the first portrait of COVID-19, but I have no idea what lens I was using. Totally over edited, totally gritty, totally rad. I love this kind of stuff. This is actually no flash, all natural light, and no color adjustments back here. It just happened to be good colors. But this is actually with the 105 f2.8 micro, the Z. I love macro lenses for portraits as well.
That eye will cut you.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. We got. Oh, it actually wasn't
beautiful.
It wasn't my turn to shoot. Here in Wichita, we have these photo meetups where it's like just a bunch of photographers will show up, and it wasn't my turn, but I had the 105 on there, so she looked like kind of bored while he was messing with his settings. I just thought it was a great shot.
Yeah, that's
but, this is
You
with
could lose the model
with
there.
Flash. This is with Flash. This is this same model, 105, I believe this was. Actually, this may have been the 51.2. I'm not sure. It's been a couple weeks ago. This is from one of my YouTube videos, a photographer shootout. Fairly natural, not a whole lot of editing. Shallow depth of
powerful.
field. This is just a freaky, spooky shoot. She's an OnlyFans girl, but I wasn't shooting that kind of content that day. The other photographer was, but I was like, you look kind of gory and awesome. So I just snapped one of these.
Oh, yeah.
Another spooky one. I always tell people to like learn the rules, then break them. And this is just like a really kind of strange composition, but it's still kind of centered. Just a spooky shoot. And then I think this one here is a studio. I like to kill my background, but
Oh, you like to kill the ambient.
Crush the ambient.
just she just had like really good like even skin tone. Like there's not like a lot of people have red in their face, and she didn't. And so I was like, I actually didn't do that like any skin tone work at all. It's just a good shot. Of course, I did some stuff in the hair. I like to paint hair whenever I do these studio shoots, and individually adjust the levels on it just to kind of make it pop out.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, that's a few of mine.
That's great. Okay, so everybody gets to see a little different twist from each of you, except for TMIDD. He chickened out and only gave us one photo.
Oh no. See, I was only giving one because I know ZWade had just mentioned black and white, so I was just like, oh man, he's talking about black and white.
Bring it up. Listen, I'd love to see a few more if you've got some in the hopper.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let we can keep talking, and then I'll pop some up so I could just go through them like y'all did.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so everybody gets to see what you're doing. Hopefully, everybody will go check you out, man. I mean, that's the other thing with my little channel is we're going to lift up the smaller channels. Not that your alls are; it's big. You're bigger than mine, but my whole intent is to get everybody involved. So
I have
folks,
a question.
Go check these guys out. Go ahead, Ryan.
So ZWade, what camera body do you shoot?
Right now I'm shooting the Z6 II. I just got rid of my Z7 II because once I found out that the Z9 will do everything that the Z7 II will do, and really what sold me on it was the grain at like 500 ISO. This is such a petty reason. Nobody buys Z9 the way that I did, but the grain is just a little bit better at higher ISOs, and I'm unique in the fact that I despise grain.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I despise it, and so you'll never find me adding grain.
Courtney.
But primarily the Z6 II in these like the dark studio where I have like a single light and the lights are all turned off. I'll use a Z6 II. Before that, it was a D610. Both of them are like low light, awesome monsters.
Okay, yeah. I'm actually curious to know how the Z9 will do with higher ISOs, because I know, as the megapixels get up, the ISO is going to be a little grainy, which makes sense why the Z6 II, isn't as grainy. Me personally, I love grain. I add grain. I love it. I love that film look. Huh?
I'm with you.
Yeah, I love it.
It's almost it's almost film look when you get green. Yeah.
Now there are certain black and white, specifically like I do add grain in like street photography, because I feel like it adds a texture of like the concrete and the bricks and the things like that. It just adds a little extra grit to it, and to me it makes it look more natural than, more closer to what my eyes saw. But for the most part in portraits, I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. But there are some black and white situations where I'm like, this needs a little grain to it.
And what is your favorite lens when it comes to portraits?
Right now, me?
Well, everybody, I guess.
I'll go first on that one. It changes. My favorite focal length is like 85 or 105. But right now I have been having a shitload of fun with the 50 millimeter 1.2. I've been having a lot of fun with that. 50 millimeter has never been like a portrait lens for me, but I've been using it everywhere else, and so I thought, why not use it on portraits? And it looks great. 50 millimeter is really close to what the human eye sees anyway, and so it's fine. But typically 85 or 105.
What about you, Chuck?
Well, in my little studio, right now it's the 51.8 S lens. I'd really like to get a hold of the 85. So when it comes out, that'll be another lens that I'm looking for. If I'm
1.2?
outside, yeah, the 1.2. if I'm outside the 200 f2. I'm sorry, I just cannot. That lens is just, in my opinion, for me, is just phenomenal. But that's it for me.
What about you? I already know you as a TMIDD, but I guess the people need to know. What's your
Yeah,
favorite lens
so
for portraits?
portraits. So I'm kind of different, just in the sense that when I'm inside, it is going to vary from when I'm outside. And so inside, when I'm in my in-home studio, and the funny thing is I got the 85 uh 1.4, but I'm still going with the 70 to
70 to
200
200.
2.8.
That is a great portrait lens, though. I don't know which one you're using, but the Z especially, and then the Tamron in F mount, the Tamron G2. I love both of those for outdoor portraits. You can't beat the compression at 200 millimeters. It's fantastic.
What do you
Man,
guys?
I'm telling you. And then outdoors, when I'm on location, I'm going with the Sigma 35 1.4.
Wait, huh? For portraits? 35?
He's up close.
Yeah.
You said 135.
No.
35.
Oh, yeah. I'm going straight.
I know, Ryan, you look like me when he told me that, but he makes it work.
I'm trying to understand because usually, portraits like a little closer. Like
Yeah,
that's
they're
a
a lot
storytelling lens.
closer. That's the interesting thing about me is when I'm outdoors, I'm more so, kind of sticking and moving. So, if it's not a 35, it will probably be an 85. But if I want to work around and kind of have flexibility, yeah, that's going to be my go-to lens outside.
Yeah, I use 85 is my favorite. And I guess in the studio, but if you want to consider that, I'll go with my 105 macro. But that's my favorite lens is the 105 2.8 macro. But for portraits, 85 1.8 S lens is the best lens I've ever
Weather
used
sealed.
in my life. Huh?
Weather sealed.
Weather sealed. That beautiful S line.
Oh yeah, I put some photos in the queue too, so I could share when y'all ready.
All
Let's
right.
do it. Let's do it.
Well, Ike says the 70 to 200 for him, but Ike, I don't see you shooting with that often. I guess because you're showing other lenses, maybe, but that's a fantastic lens either way.
Ike shoots with that 50 a lot.
Oh, real quick, I want to address what David said a second ago. He said if noise and grain is the first thing you see in a photograph, the content is the problem, not the noise and grain. I don't know what you mean by content, but yeah, you're right. If you see grain right off the bat, you fucked up your exposure bad. You're trying to recover. You're trying to recover too much from a bad shot. If that's what you mean.
All right, TMIDD.
Well, the 85. All right, we're gonna run through these quick.
Yep.
So this one right here is probably like my shot of 2021.
I don't see you. There you go.
Oh,
You
I love
just
it.
did that video.
Yeah, so I did this probably at the beginning of the year too. And this is inside my home studio also. The thing is that once it gets cold outside, you gotta find somewhere else to to work. So yeah, this was the Nikon D850 right here. And then
Beautiful.
this was the Nikon D850 also with the 70 to 200. And let's see. This is inside my home studio also. Let's see. And this was natural light.
Nice.
And
That is
believe it or
beautiful
not,
skin tone.
Early morning or late evening?
late evening.
Did you use a reflector?
Yeah. I wanted to use flash, but I was forcing myself to use natural light this day. this was the D850 also. The D850, man, I'm telling you.
It's a beast.
Yeah.
I like that. That's backlit flash or no?
Yeah, backlit flash
Gel?
with some color gels.
Yeah, that's a extremely poppy photo.
Yeah.
Excellent
Yeah, I like
separation from the steps.
yeah. I love vibrant photos, man. That's kind of like my thing.
I like a
And
lot of punch in the photos as well. Beautiful.
yeah, so this is in my home studio also. This is like a 3-light setup. And this is like one of my very first photos I did probably 2 years ago now.
That was a maternity session?
Yeah, that was a maternity session. So she came to me with the idea and we just shot it. And I did this with the D800.
That is a really, really bold maternity. That's probably the most confident and bold maternity photo I've ever seen.
Yeah. And this one as well was the D800.
I like that. The composition and everything.
Yeah,
on
that's
that
a
is
cool
nice.
composition. I like that outfit too. That outfit is fire.
Yeah, and we did this was 2020 I took this. So yeah, like at the beginning of 2020, somewhere around there. And that is it for me. Let's see.
Good shots.
Appreciate it.
I want to know how you find these like such perfectly skinned models. Like there's the skin tones are beautiful and even.
Yeah, some of them, man, you know, it's a lot of calling through Instagram.
All right.
But you know, that's initially what it is. But once, you know, once like people say, once you put your work, it speaks for itself, then they start to find you.
Well, I need to do better about doing Instagram. I have like a love-hate relationship with Instagram. I love the amount of exposure I get, but I'm kind of a control freak with my work. Like once my work is edited, it's done. If it won't fit on a particular piece of paper without cropping, I'll just do the size of paper that I didn't want to do. And I hate that Instagram crops my stuff. I hate that Facebook compresses my stuff and pixelates everything. And so like my exposure is not nearly as good as it could be just because I'm like, how dare you mess with my photos? Like I had it the way I wanted it.
Right.
I need to get over that. I really do.
Robert Daniels, you get the award for today because Nikon Color Science.
Oh yeah. It is.
It's just amazing.
I've heard people say, "Oh, color science is bullshit because you're shooting in RAW and blah blah." Like, no. There's a difference. If you look at one versus the other side by side, I think that Nikon files just look better. I really do. I think they just look better.
And do you use Lightroom?
Yes.
Yeah, so I use
In
Lightroom
Photoshop.
and I use the but I use the Nikon color profile, so it's gonna make it look just like just like if it was a JPEG for you to get it to that point. So it definitely matters. I agree. The color science definitely matters. But I hear people say that same thing all the time.
Yeah, skin tones. I think Nikon skin tones are the best. I'm not saying the other ones are like trash, but like I can see a difference in skin tones. It's just a little side thought. You can get any photo looking the way that you want it. I mean, if you're shooting RAW, you can get anything to look the way that you want it. I'm just saying that
it's hard for me.
If you want to get technical, I think the Nikons just look better. But I'm biased because I love Nikon. That's what
I shot with a Sony. I shot with a Sony, and it was hard for me to get the colors that I felt like I couldn't edit. Yeah, it for me it was. Yeah, it was. And I see people like I don't know if you know Francisco. What's his name? T-Mid Francisco Hernandez.
FJH. That's all.
Yeah, FJH. Yeah, him. He does a lot of off-camera flash stuff, and he shoots Sony. but his colors look really good. And in my head, I'm just like, how did you get them there? Because when I tried, they were they was too warm to me.
Jason Lanier too, like I mean, he shoots Sony, and his skin tones are like fire. Like they look so, like his shots look so good. Yeah, I didn't know that there was that big of a difference in editing. I just thought there was a small difference in files, but that's interesting. I'd like to play with that myself and see if I have like the same struggles. Be like, oh, I'm spoiled on Nikon.
I think it's just we get used to it. Whatever you know, we get used to editing Nikon files. They get used to editing Sony files. And if we was to flip flop, it'd be like the things I usually do on the picture, I got to do something totally different now. So that's what I think it is.
Like I've never had my warmth this damn high before. What is going on?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a good point. They say, you know, how much time it's taken to bring that photo to that point. I feel like I have less time spent bringing my colors where I want them with my Nikon, as opposed to I use the Canon R5 and I use the Sony, and you know, it's definitely, I have seen from both raw files that it was harder for me to get, you know, where I wanted to be. And that also could be because I'm used to Nikon also, but you know, just in my experience, that's what I see.
Hey, Touch Life Studio, you said that Canon have warmer tones and Sony has more green. I don't know, but I will say what's really interesting about Fuji's film, they have like a bluish kind of look to them. And what's interesting is that their digital files have that same kind of, it's like the Fuji kind of color thing going on. And I always found that interesting that their digital files look so similar to their actual film. I don't know about Canon and Sony, but I always thought that was interesting. How like Fuji looks like a Fuji, like from like way back all the way to like now.
I got a question. Is it possible for Ike to jump in here?
Yeah. I don't have any way to send him the link. T,
I can send it to him.
All right.
Listen, Ike, I need you to jump in here because he's another portrait photographer and he does real good as well. If you have, let me know if you can, and I'll send you the link. I'll send it. I'll text it to you. But yeah, he's another great portrait photographer as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that Fuji, that Fuji film. Yeah, because how much time do you all typically spend on an edit?
Depends. If I'm doing like more like servicey type stuff, like senior photos, I don't like I don't get too incredibly artistic. Like they definitely look like I shot them compared to like other senior photo photographers. But I typically like I balance it for the most part. Like I get it pretty close in camera. A little bit to the colors, you know, I can get through. If I shoot for like an hour, I can probably have a service edit done like a 1 hour shoot in 15 to 30 minutes or something like that. But if it's like an artsy shoot where I'm doing like crazy stuff, I have spent an hour on a single photo before, just playing around and doing all kinds of things, trying to find exactly what I was envisioning.
So I got a question. You guys shoot any male models or male clients?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, I have something to say on this.
Or not as difficult or the same?
Easier.
Easier?
Easier. In my opinion, it's easier.
Especially with editing.
Yeah. Because men don't want to look, well, I can't speak for all men, but a lot of men don't want to look so beautified. You know, they embrace the roughness. And
here are 3 photos I took of one is my stepson. He needed it for something, and the other is a friend of the family.
Ooh, it's dark and moody.
I think.
Oh yeah.
Wow, it's really dark on my screen. That's not the way the photo looks.
Yeah, for some reason yours is showing different than ours.
Yeah, I don't understand that. So, well, let me just. jump over here to another one. Let's see.
Ooh, damn, Chuck.
I like light, man. When it comes
Yeah.
to light, I like moody. I was
That is
talking
that's
to T-Mid
nice.
about that
Part-
before.
Pardon my language. That's a cool fucking shot.
I have another one that I don't have up here. Yeah, I wish it wasn't as dark. I'll figure out how to actually throw my photos up there, but I know how, real quick. Maybe it'll get a little better. No, not much. All right. Well, I can say I tried. But anyway, yeah,
Moody.
I like saturation. I like black and white with contrast. I like my
I'm
wife
a
says
A contrast
why are you
junkie.
she says, "Why are you so dark?" I don't know. I just like it, you know. So, oh man,
What do you use to edit, Chuck?
I'm unlike a lot of people. I have the Lightroom Photoshop suite, the rental. I hate that, but it is what it is. And I don't use Lightroom at all. And Lightroom's gotten much better, but I've always used for the initial edit or just the tweaks, Bridge and what is it? The tool within Bridge. And then you can go from Bridge into
Adobe Raw.
yeah, Adobe Raw. Yeah, ACR, Adobe Camera Raw, which did everything I want to do. And I'll tell you, a lot of times for what I'm shooting, I can get what I want out of Adobe Camera Raw. If there's any heavy lifting or whatever, then I'll jump into or just go into Photoshop to do that if I have to add layers or whatever. But yeah, that's it for me.
Earlier, I said Lightroom. I want to specify Lightroom Classic. I despise the one that's labeled as like Lightroom. Like
I don't like either one of them.
it looks great. It looks great on like an iPad, but I like
Too much
Lightroom
work.
Classic.
All that
I-
tagging.
I used
Hello?
to use Corel back whenever I first started.
Oh,
and that is
I
a
remember
nightmare.
that.
Oh,
That's
it's tough.
Paint Shop Pro, right? Wait. No, that's not what that was. Was it?
Corel,
thinking-
Corel Paint or something like that.
Oh my god, that is a real mother bleeper. It is so slow. Like, and I was doing it's like it doesn't do anything as good as it should. That's tough.
Thank you, Chuck, right.
mother.
We got Ike over here now. Ike, I was saving you. I got to have a whole show. I got to get you on here. You're always so busy. I now know.
I don't think he
buttons
could hear
with
us
you.
yet. I don't even think we're coming through his headphones.
No. All right, everybody make fun of Ike while he's trying to figure it out.
Hey, Ike, can you hear me now?
How dare you?
Oh,
make
okay.
great
Was it
content.
echoey before?
Yep.
Yes, very
It
much
was.
so.
Damn, my bad.
You got it
All right.
now.
Yeah, I had to figure it out. I never used this program before. I've never used, so I was just
It's
trying
just
to figure
like
out how to.
StreamYard.
Yeah, but I was just trying to figure out because I had the auto set to speakers because I put these headphones in, and it came out of my speakers. I'm like, what the heck? And then the YouTube, YouTube is different. You get it.
It looks the same on YouTube, but it doesn't in here in the Restream studio. So
Yeah, and so like the timing was off. So I'm hearing two different conversations. I'm like, oh crap. I'm hearing one in here, then I'm hearing one on a computer because the
Yeah, you
audio
gotta-
was going through. Yeah,
yeah,
so,
you got to shut down the audio on the computer on YouTube.
got it. And
I
then gotta
want to.
turn
I'm
the screen
pulling
on.
up some photos because I want to show some male photos if I
Okay.
can. But I'm just getting it ready right now.
All right. You
Well,
get it ready.
while he's getting it ready, I want to mention as far as male photographers go, I shoot a lot of bodyscapes and like nude work, and in my experience, I don't have any. I want to shoot male models because I'm big on image, and if you're a male photographer that only has female nude models in your portfolio, it's not necessarily a great look, especially in like a small town that I live in. And what I have found is that men are a lot less confident in their nudity than women are. I have had a lot of first time like models. It's their first time in front of a camera, and they're like, "Yeah, I want to do like a nude shoot," and I'm like, "Okay," but men are like, "Yeah, that sounds cool," and then they don't want to show up. They lose their confidence, and I mean, I get it, but it's tough, man. In my experience, it's harder. It's harder to get men to pose, but I also don't work with a lot of like pro male models. So
yeah, I was like, where do you live?
oh, I'm in just outside Wichita, Kansas.
Oh well, yeah.
It's,
I haven't been ignoring you. I have. I want a whole show with you on a show.
Oh, what are you talking about?
In all the interviews, I know what buttons to push with you.
Oh yeah, you already know. See, this is the problem.
So you're going to give all your photos away to your model?
Oh yeah, wow, you're funny. I see Ryan and prepped you.
No, I watched it, brother.
Wait, you talking about Anthony's stream?
I don't know whose stream. I don't know what you're talking about.
But
I don't know nothing. I ain't see nothing. That's all I know.
No, I mean I agree with him though. If you're talking about if you pay for the model, it's just a different conversation.
No, that's it. You got it. If you pay,
Yeah,
for the
if
model,
I pay, I'm giving them the photos too.
okay. I got to go along with Anthony on that one. I think if I pay for the model, I'm paying for a model that I want. It's not just they pick a model and send to me, and I'm getting what I want. And I agree with Anthony. I think that if she or he shows up, they have priced themselves correctly. But where I may differ with Anthony is I might throw one or two or whatever, but
the shots you edited, would you give them? Would you give them those photos?
Well, that's another. See, that brings up a whole other topic.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, man. Because if, yeah, oh man, why would I give them a raw image that they're going to go post somewhere and people are going to say he took that? So it would have to be edited, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. Can I share or no?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was saying, can I share my mail photos?
Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I got to scroll down here. We're running out of space over here on the other bar.
I'm gonna
Unless
do this
they're
quick
neuter,
like
it's
I
going
did
to
it
kill the
before.
stream.
All right, so this was this actually with the Nikon D750.
Great camera.
Same model, same everything. This is with my Z7 II. Same shoot.
Okay, that's creative. Wait.
Uh-huh.
What's the message in this? I like it.
Right. So basically, I did a video on this, and this was a guy that was just going through it was like his world's burning and he just doesn't care about it. Like everything's going wrong in his life, but he doesn't care about it. Let me see if it's not. I thought it was. I had more from it, but I have a video on my channel of the whole shoot.
No, I mean,
and how we put it together.
I see a message in that when he's holding a newspaper burning. So I wondered what.
Yeah. And then this was the same one, the fire behind him and everything. Yep. So it was fun. It just was extremely hot. This was the same model, but this was just for his birthday. This is another model.
That's an excellent shot right there.
Yeah, it is.
That is a fashion shot.
Yeah, I wanted to go with more of an editorial for this one.
Yep.
And I did a few more with him. This is the same guy. He's actually an actor here in Columbus.
That's cinematic.
I like that last one with the foot. It's thinking outside the box. It's like a portrait, but it's like focusing on the shoe. It's real outside the box. I like it.
Yeah, just because of his emotion in his face, I wanted to capture it where you see it in the background, but it's not there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think this was the last one. I had to put a black and white in for you, ZWade.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Oh. So Ike.
Okay, I'm back. You can probably hear my kids screaming out the door, but whatever. It's always every time I talk to somebody, bro. Oh, I gotta meet my kids. Like,
That's what dads do, man.
I had to deal with all three of my children today with the family session that I had. So
wait. You had your kids at a session, or you were trying to do a session with the kids?
I did a session with my kids.
Okay, yeah. I think I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah. End up
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
I
That's where
brought
the
my
outfit
kids.
came from.
Yep. It's a onesie actually, you know.
No. Yes, it is. It's got the ass flap.
Oh,
It does.
I love it. I love
Oh my god.
it.
It brings a sense of humor to the Christmas season.
Hey, you there,
Oh,
Ike?
Ryan.
I had to remove myself from the stream. I don't want to be.
Y'all don't do the onesies.
In case anybody screenshot that, I don't want to be associated with that.
Hey, yo, thanks Hassan and thanks Phil. I appreciate that.
Oh my god, that was funny. I love it.
Oh man. All right, Ike, give us some wisdom, man. You've
Okay,
listened to us, so now you tell us what we've said wrong.
Chase a check, never chase. No, I'm joking. No, you guys are talking about guys, and like it's interesting. So I shoot guys in my main work, like in my actual work, like my
Right.
job, because I do photography full time, and so I shoot guys all the time, but I never showed it on my YouTube. And I think like one time I showed a guy, I did a shoot with a guy, it got no love, and I was like, well, there goes that.
Yeah.
Posted a guy to my IG, no love. I said, oh, there we go.
Yeah, you know what? You bring up a good point too. And is YouTube and that is YouTube a job then for you, or are you working, striving to derive income from YouTube?
Yes, but not as hard as I should be working, and probably not as hard as I could be working, because to me, my photography job, it's work enough as it is, along with having 3 kids that are young. Like if my kids were older, because I was like, man, I've been slacking on posting, but I have like 1, 2, basically 2 and under, and so. And then the 3rd child, then like we've been super busy. Then my wife started influencing. So she's making a lot of money doing influencing. So she's dragging us around the country. Like, oh, we got a trip here, we got a trip there, I gotta go here. So like my YouTube channel has taken quite a backseat. I haven't not created content. Like I've been creating content any chance I get, but it's easier to shoot than it is to edit. Like you can do a shoot like an hour or 2. But the editing time it requires is what really. So like I have a backlog of content that I'm working on. Actually working on a video right now as I talk to you guys, finishing up the last like pieces. But yeah, I'm trying to make money from this thing. But 2021. So for me, my idea was that if I can grow an audience on this thing, and then from there I can try to sell other stuff to the audience. So I figured that AdSense and making money from ads was going to be one revenue, and then as I get better and bigger and better, I figure how to convert this audience into other sales. So that is my goal. That's my ongoing goal, is just to build an audience continually, and then try to figure out how to make money from the audience.
There's nothing wrong with that either. I didn't ask as if there was anything wrong with it.
No.
If there were, then most of us would be angry about all the influencers. And I mean, obviously, and I'm not going to get into the names because then we all go crazy about some of these folks.
Well, and that's another thing with me, and that's a hard position that I'm in, because on one end I'm playing in their field, in the influencer field, when I'm being on YouTube,
right? And
I'm also playing in the working photographer's field. So a lot of times, like people might compare me or my work or my output to somebody who that's like the kids that can sit around and play video games. They're like so good. These 14-year-old kids that can like sweep you on video game. Like, well, of course you sit around, you play video games 6 to 8 hours a day. You should be better than me. Right. I have to go to work, like, so I don't have time. So it's the same way. Like I have a job, and also because I'm a working photographer, it does influence even sometimes how I create content. because I'm not as willing to do the extra stuff because I'm like, that's too much work. I'm not doing it. That's too much work.
Yeah,
So.
I'm not knocking anybody that does that.
Mhm.
I think it's great because that's what makes YouTube YouTube. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here right now.
And you know, it's not the content creators' fault. Sometimes it's the audience that gets us caught up because the people start comparing this person to that person and all of that, and then you feel kind of like, well, is he better than me? Am I as good as him? Like, well, and I'm like, no, they're just doing that because they have nothing else to do, or they're able to do that because
Listen,
I gotta go to work. So, you know,
I want to jump in just because you said the audience, and I don't want to. Two things. One, I push Ike to try to push content out all day long. I try to make this his full-time job as much as possible. I try. But two, when he said the audience, listen, this is what I want the audience to know, man. People, not all, but people like me, I'm sensitive. Okay. So when I get a lot of comments on stuff, man, that stuff affects me. I go through days just thinking about, well, dang, do I need to stop putting out content like this? And do it like I don't know. It's hard for me. I don't know about you guys, but yeah,
I'm not sensitive at all. I
know you don't care.
Yeah, I'm
We
stone
saw
cold.
that with that dog life.
You said,
Who, me?
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, low key, like Anthony, me and Anthony fell out, but that's that. So.
No. I was gonna say before you guys go, I was gonna say like, I had a conversation with TMIDD, and I told him like, I'm aware of my faults and what I'm good at, what I'm not good at. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm not capable of. And so me being like 100% sure, very self-aware of who I am. And like, if I do something that's trash, I'm like, I know it's trash. Somebody will say something. If they say it, cool.
Yeah,
Now,
cool.
if they,
You own it.
oh, well, you noticed
Right.
it. Oh, yeah, you could have did better. Yeah, you're right. I could have, but I didn't.
Yeah,
Okay,
but this is what it is. Take it.
Yeah, so I don't get
you
caught
guys
up.
complaining about YouTube content because of the editing. See, I skipped that whole process.
Just throw it like
When we end, YouTube edits for me. I'm done.
Look,
Yeah, something
I can be opinionated myself though. So
something I want to say on the on the content. It's like right now, like I'm on the cusp of like getting close to that like 1,000 subscriber mark. Like just in the last like couple of weeks, it's like it's gone up by like hundreds of subscribers. But like what I'm realizing right now, it's like the stuff that people want really, really bad is like that American consumerism. They want to look at stuff. They want to hear about stuff. And for me, it's like whenever I first started my YouTube, like I did it because I was on a 2-week forced stay home from work during COVID, and I was just bored, right? And so I started it, and I just started going through making reviews of the things that I owned at the time, and I did a couple of live shoots where I stuck a GoPro on my head, and I just went out and shot. And looking at that stuff, I was like, the quality was like really terrible, but people still watched like the gear stuff. And that's what was taken off. And that's what's been jacking me up in the last couple of weeks is, talking about the Z9. And I'm just like, you know what? I've kind of almost gotten away from actually going out and like doing photographer stuff. And then like what changed it was somebody in my comment section said, like, oh, great, another talking head. Now I'm 5'5", so I've got a mouth on me. And so, my response to that is, I didn't tell him, fuck you or whatever. I was like, you know what? Actually, although that's very unkind, he's kind of right. I need to get out and freaking shoot because I shoot all the time. I don't take the camera with me to video it. And so like, I'm trying to do like a lot more of that stuff. And as far as the making money from YouTube, I hate that I have the next month full of backlogged videos of me saying that you could make a small donation in the PayPal link below. I don't even want to do that anymore. Like, because like whenever I first started YouTube, that's like what everybody was doing, and I was like learning from everybody else. I was like, okay, so a donation link in the description and all this stuff, and I'm just tired of that shit.
I always forget to ask for a like and a subscription, so
yeah,
tells you how dedicated I am.
My stuff
is fun, guys, and I hope you guys understand that. That's what this channel is about. I just want to have fun, and if I can get you guys in here talking about stuff, That's good, because there are a lot of people out there that want to hear from you. So
I
and they
got
can
way
ask
too
you
much
a
stuff to
question
say.
directly.
I just have way too much stuff to say. I'm like, oh, just when you're talking about the asking for like a donation, I'm just like, oh, because people are like, oh, so and so, he's the real deal because he doesn't have advertisers or he doesn't have affiliate links. So I'm just like, yo, you kidding
Angry
me?
photographer.
Like, no, well, him too, but just like that idea that like because you're making money that you can't be authentic. Now there are some people who are not authentic. I get it, and there's some people who are led by the money. But this whole idea was like, oh yeah, he keeps it real, and because they're feeling like that, like that's your claim to fame is if because somebody, and I'm just like, for people to feel guilty about trying to make an income from something they like I just I just agree with that. So I have strong feelings about that.
I absolutely think because anybody that wants to start a YouTube channel that thinks you just turn the camera on yourself and you just roll off, dude, it is not like that. You have to go through. you gotta pick you gotta pick the, at least whenever I do it. I say some pretty stupid shit because like I do all this unscripted, right? And so I'm just going, and next thing I know, I'm on a rant, like I'm doing like a comedy sketch because I'm just going off the top. And then I'm like, I've got to take all this shit out. Like it doesn't stop and end there. Like it is a lot of work. You've got to find the content you want to do and the editing and the shooting and all the stuff and make sure that you're staying on topic if you're going off the top like I do. And it's not exactly easy. And
I have a question for you.
Topic's a very loose word in my live streams. You see where we're at already.
Right? I was like, all right, let me not, because look, I'm somebody who can easily take it left or right. So I'm trying to be contained here. I'm just trying to ad lib, but I'm not going, I'm gonna let you guys rock. I'm just gonna ad lib because.
So ZWade, you said you were saying that when you went back to that comment with the person that said another talking head, do you feel? I got two questions. One, do you feel it's more? Do you enjoy doing talking heads more than shooting? And does your analytics show that people care more about talking heads than going out shooting?
Well, that's what's really interesting is he was like, oh great, another talking head. He is one out of at least 7,000 views that thought so.
Right.
I don't really take it to heart. People do like to just like listen to people talk about stuff. As far as me going out and like taking, I'm going to be doing a lot of like through the EVF shooting coming up here really, really soon. I'm going to start shooting it actually tomorrow. And I know that stuff is not going to like take off, but that's my favorite thing to do is to actually shoot, and to like, I want people to be able to see what I see and see where I put my focus point. And I know it's not going to be as good as other stuff, like the talking head stuff, people like it. And so that's going to be on Friday, which analytics show is where I get the most views on Fridays after 7:00. And those are going to be like my talking videos and the stuff that I really enjoy going out and like shooting and editing and all that stuff that people don't really like too much. I love making editing videos. I'm going to throw that stuff on Tuesday, and then I have like what you got to give the people what they want. And then I got the stuff that I enjoy doing the talking head stuff too. It's fun to edit because I go back and laugh at the stuff that I say, whether it makes it in the video or not. But
right now with Bayou Josh, I'm not sure if all of you guys are familiar with him, but his video, like I don't do landscape photography, but his videos are so, in my opinion, like they're scripted the right way. So you got kind of got both, right? So you got him speaking, although it's not a talking head. You got a lot of B-roll of him out shooting, and you got the storytelling in it. So I don't know if it's like I gotta find that balance, because I feel like that balance that he has is really good, because me, a person that's not into landscape photography, I can watch his videos all day long and get something out of it.
Bottle of blood pressure medicine.
You said what?
his videos are better than a bottle of blood pressure
I'm telling you,
medicine.
actually, just this morning, by Josh, thanks for popping by, man. I clean my house every Saturday, and I actually had Bayou Josh running through a Sylvania Bluetooth speaker. I wasn't even watching it. I had my phone in the other room, and I was just listening to him like talk about his adventure. And I'm just like, it's just as good to watch as it is to listen to. It is the highest quality shit out there. It's really good stuff, man.
You know, I watch all you guys, and I mean, maybe that's why I don't pick any one particular thing in photography and stick with it, because I love watching all of it. And then I'm going to be crazy enough to actually go out and try it. Now, I'm very disappointed with my efforts usually, but I love watching you guys do all this stuff. So
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the time that it takes to get your concept, to find your model, to hope that your model doesn't flake on you, to get all your shots together, shooting time, and then most of the time what I do is I go live with the photo shoot, and then I'm recording an actual video also. So I'm doing 2 of those. And then, you edit all that footage together, and you have to edit the photos. And then, you push it out there. Man, people don't understand how much time it really takes.
no, hats off to all of you. Go ahead, Ike.
I was gonna give you exclusive. I think I've ever told you. I had one time. I had this model show up. We were supposed to do a shoot. I had the model show up. Right. I'm like, she showed it because usually they show it to my house. So I'm like, oh, she's here. I go out. Hey, what's up? I go out to meet her. Hey, how you doing? I'm gonna go run in and get my stuff, and then I'm gonna come back when I go. I go in the house to get my stuff. I come back out. She's gone. The car's gone. I'm like, I'm looking around like.
She got ghost.
Man.
I'm like, yo, you drove all the way there, and then she lived pretty far away. I'm like, you drove all the way down here, and you and like I think I might have, because I was like, I didn't know if like something happened, like if it was an emergency, maybe she got shook up, maybe she felt like unsafe in the neighborhood or something, because I live in the hood. But she just dipped, and I was just like, what? And I messaged her in the back. I was like, all right, cool. So on to the next, but these things can happen.
Yeah, you know what would actually be fun is if everybody shared a modeling horror story.
So that was mine. So
I would love to hear at least one
I'm trying
great
to
model
think,
story.
actually.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. All right. So I had one photo shoot. The girl sent me a concept, and we were going to the location to do it. And so she's like, yeah, I'm going to bring my boyfriend with me. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine, So we get to the location to shoot the concept, and she never told the boyfriend what she was trying to do, which was actually like some boudoir type stuff in like a garden. So she pulled out the stuff. Man, the boyfriend just like started cussing her out and like, you're not doing that, and da 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 da. And next thing you know, I was heading back home.
dang. Yeah, that's awkward.
Yeah, it was really awkward.
You got
I
one, Ryan?
really,
Right now to me.
I don't think I do. That's the part I'm trying to think, but I don't know. Is that not normal? I can't really
What's
think
funny
of
to
one.
me, guys. I'm sitting here watching you all, and every one of you is the exact personality that I see in your videos and on YouTube.
You got to
And
be unapologetically yourself, man.
Well,
That's what sets.
no, I mean,
That's what sets people apart. The guy with the big hair he's really fun on camera, but in the interviews he comes off as kind of like an asshole, and I always want to come off like as myself,
Well,
like I am this person.
This shows everybody who you are, and I think that's a good thing too. I mean,
Do you think that he doesn't like come off as a hole in his in his videos?
Well, yeah, but he's more energetic and more friendly. Like he seems a little more friendly. I think his commentary is, especially in the critiques, he's overly harsh.
Right. Yeah,
Like
he's an
almost,
a-hole in it.
yeah, almost like, like I think good criticism is criticize and compliment, but don't over. I mean, you don't want to blow sunshine up someone's ass, but he's like, it's not just I would crop it like this, I would crop it like this, and I would edit it like this, and then I would use my pack to make it look like this, and blah blah blah. Blah. It's like, fuck, man, you're beating him up. You're beating him up. And
Hey, you know what,
yeah,
though?
I'm not going to get into that shit.
No. But that, honestly, like that kind of critique, that's the real deal. I've gotten critique like that. Like if you get critiqued by people who are masters, not saying he's a master, not saying he is or isn't. I'm saying, not saying he is or isn't. I'm just saying in general, people that are like really good, like if they really go hard on you, it should. If it don't hurt your feelings, then that ain't the right person. Like if they didn't hurt your feelings,
you know what? That's exactly right.
That's a
Ike.
good point.
You know, a friend will tell you, no, that ain't it.
yeah.
All the false friends will just rave about how great something is or whatever, and they're doing you no good.
My experience is the opposite. My family and friends will tell me I'm the greatest they've ever seen, and I know it's not. I've tested it out. I've shown them like a really shitty photo, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's great! Can I get that in a print?" And I'm like,
yeah, like okay,
I will troll you and do this in 20x30 if you if you don't be honest with me here. You'll have this ugly piece of shit on your wall.
I agree with Bayou Josh too, because it's like he said, polarizing characters draws a crowd. It was like, we're
That's
talking
true.
about them. It's another person in the community that people don't like, but I personally love, and it's the TNC. I don't know, like everybody says.
Are you kidding me?
I love them. I don't know
what's there to love.
I think that I love the team. I love the fact that they're a team, husband and wife. I love that part. And
I know I was going to write that down and look it up. I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, like I don't know. I just really love their channel. So I don't understand why so many people don't, but I don't know. I really love that channel. I'm sorry.
I don't want to insult you on this. I don't want to insult you on Chuck Stream, so I'm just gonna let that
go. Listen, everybody's opinion, is different, and I think especially how it is going. If you live in America right now, everybody want everybody to feel the same way, as if you have a different opinion, it's wrong. And I just feel like at the end of the day, they are fair.
Here's the thing.
They are fair.
Here's the thing, okay?
They're fair.
They make great content.
Thank you.
But they also make crappy content.
That's fine.
And it's the crappy content that turns me off to even the great content. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like you have somebody who can say the smart. If you have somebody who's like really smart, intelligent, and they say some really smart and profound stuff, but then they also say some really crappy art, like putting almost like spreading false rumors and telling lies. It kind of throws it off. And you're like, because then it's like, okay, you're smarter than you're putting off, and I know you know better. So now I feel like you're doing this on purpose, just to be funny, just to like gain controversy, just to piss people off, and that's not cool to me. So that's how I feel.
I agree with you. I think that what bothers me about it's not Chelsea. It's
well, the cat's out the bag now.
I mean, we know, everybody knows. But I'm just saying. Well, there's another husband where Team man go shoot. Anyways,
the guy is incredibly intelligent, and he knows all of his specs and everything else. And I give him credit for that. It's just, and this is the same thing I say about Fro. You can call the baby ugly without actually saying that baby's ugly.
Thank you. Thank you.
And they seem to thrive on just, like you said, the controversy or whatever of calling out. And this is where we get into the Nikon thing. I don't care about other brands. I think the other brands are good. I think all the major brands are doing a fantastic job, but why do they always have to pick on Nikon? And that's what bothers me.
Because I'm telling you right now, if I wanted to be monetized tomorrow, I would make a slew of reasons to not buy the Nikon Z9 or the Z7 II or whatever, because it's fading a little bit. But Hate Nikon was like, those were just selling. And I'm not saying that anybody is being disingenuous. I'm just saying that if you're trying to run a business and YouTube is a business, you got to give the people what they want. And it's
Well,
quite
you know
apparent
what,
that people
Zach?
wanted that bullshit. I don't. I
You know
want
what,
somebody
Zach?
who's going to come out and be honest and say
You
this
don't
is
want it.
what's good about
I
it.
don't want it. Ike doesn't want it. But so many people do, and that's why they continue to do what they do.
No. But here's the thing: the people that do are haters as well. So you're only really catering to people with negative opinion and negative content.
It's an echo chamber.
Yeah. So it's like you're just really feeding. It's not like, let's say if you exposed a company and they're like, oh, we want you to expose the truth. The truth is a positive thing ultimately. I mean, sometimes the truth hurts, but ultimately it's a positive thing. But if you're, being trying to expose and you're being negative and everybody wants that negativity, that to me is just like it just puts a bad vibe. But again, that's just when I see stuff like that, and that's a trigger for me, is seeing people who I feel like should know better say the wrong things or putting out false information. Like I said, I used to work at Circuit City. I used to sell computers and stuff. I hate putting out the wrong information, like on accident or on even purpose and stuff. Actually, on purpose. So
one thing I want to say,
especially with having like the platform that you do, because it's
thank
like
you. That's
many people.
Yeah. Like when you said, if you wanted to get monetized, you could just, I'm gonna be honest with you. You even though it may not be as big, you can still get monetized with Love Nikon. I got monetized by that. To be completely honest with you, I got monetized from being a Nikon shield. Like that's what did it.
Well, I'm on my way. I'm on my way to having enough subscribers to do it because of because people want to hear about the Nikon has, at least the way that my views are going, the Nikon Z9 has set off people looking at all of my other Z content. They're like, oh shit, now this is somebody else and all they need to do is see one of my videos, because I will say the things that I dislike, but it's obvious that I like a lot of things. And I think that the few subscribers that I have right now, they're like, oh, okay, well, I hope, this is what I think, but I hope that they're seeing that I'm a source of somebody that maybe they can agree with on some things and disagree with on some things, but we're all good. Right. We don't have to fight about it or anything like that.
When it came to me, it was just that, like I said, I was being a Nikon shield, and unfortunately, in order to continue getting views, it has to be about Nikon. And as much as I love Nikon, I just love other things more, like not other brands, but just other topics. Yeah. I love other topics more than just Nikon. But unfortunately, that's how I built my audience. So now that's what I have to do.
Well, I mean, I want views. Of Westminster, everybody's seen them. Everybody watches them probably. It's nothing but Nikon.
Right.
But they don't ever bash or say anything about other brands. So yeah, you can.
I was gonna say, and one of the people who I respect a lot, who like I think they don't get enough praise, especially is I don't know if his name is Jason Bong, but he's a Sony shooter, and he only talks about Sony stuff, only Sony. But the way he does it is so classy, and like everybody else will talk, oh, well, I like to do comparisons. I like to say that this is better than that. And you'll never hear him mention any other brand's name out of his mouth. He's Sony. He's only Sony. It's always classy. I'm just like, I can respect people like Jason Bong who like do these reviews, who like pretty much are like very brand focused on one brand, but do this at the high level where they are just focused on their brand, and they can tell you like the good and bad about their gear. Because we all know Sony's not perfect. Everybody here knows, like there's things to not like about Sony. And he will do a review of a Sony camera, and he might point out these things that we notice as well, but he'll put it in a way that's like, okay, well, and if you use this, you may want to watch out for this. This might not be, you might not like this as much, but otherwise you can work around it by doing this and that. And I'm like, man, this guy's so good at reviewing Sony stuff. Well, you might see another person who might review a Nikon thing and like, yeah, because this sucks. I'm like, damn, bro, like, wait, like you said, Chuck, is like Jason Vaughn has mastered the way of like not calling an ugly baby ugly. He's just, he's just very good at what he does. So,
they'll comment, I'd hate to meet him in a dark alley someday. So you're absolutely right, Ike. And you know that unfortunately that isn't the case for so many people on YouTube. So hey, whatever sells for them, but it doesn't make me like them when I watch them, and that's it. I'm turned off and I'm done with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You make that you won't give him another chance?
Not
Give
unless
who?
when you say, "Hey, I watched him lately and he changed." How many people are going back over to the Angry Photographer?
I still
hell
watch him.
no. You
Here's-
kidding me?
Listen. Go ahead. You don't know. Go ahead. You got it.
Here's my thing with the Angry Photographer. I actually agree with literally 100% of his F-mount lens recommendations. I like every single F-mount lens that he said, this is a great lens. I totally agree. They're some of my favorite lenses that I've ever shot. In my early days of photography, that's the content that I was absorbing because I didn't know what I was looking for. But I have no problem with him just endlessly bashing Nikon for absolutely no reason, because everybody does that. What I have a problem with is all of this, like what's going on in Australia, this weird pseudoscience. I'm like, can you talk about lenses, please? Like, I don't know what your channel is anymore. And then he's like, his Nikon bashing started to become more than just Nikon bashing, and now it's absolutely nothing except his brand, and now it's even more annoying. Like, it started off right, hitting them on their faults, and now
So
it's
I'm
like
not going to take
everything
away
is
the
dog
lens
shit.
knowledge. I'm not going to take away his lens knowledge, okay? But you know what? That's not enough for me to want to watch him.
It's well, exactly. So to your point, ZWade, like somebody like the AP can be like very brilliant in one area, but once again, like when they started going off the right, and when you see like how full of crap they can be, sometimes I'm questioning like, is this even true? Like, how good are you? Or like, should I believe you in that? Because like when he got exposed for, not being authentic and lying and take, I'm just like, oh, I can't take, you lost all credibility with me. Like,
I don't
like,
want to
there's
watch I don't want to watch the stuff that I used to like anymore. It's just like, what do you
exactly.
what are you doing exactly?
Yeah,
I like
and
the
then
angry
you know.
photographer.
But you know
It's
what?
crazy because
I'm
it's
telling people don't watch him either.
yeah, and so that's the thing. Like, I don't. If you like who you like, then you like who you like. Just at least, hopefully, you like him for a good reason. Like, if you like, oh, I think he's smart. He makes great recommendations. I'm like, okay, I can't take you serious because you think this guy's smart. Now, if you just like him because he talks crap about people, cool. Be what it be. Like,
He's very entertaining.
yes,
Yeah,
I like
and-
him
and-
because he is himself. How you said, like, how he was talking about the whole stuff in Australia and all of that. At the end of the day, that's really how he feel. That's like what motivates, like not motivates him, but that's just how he feel. And I like people that can be themselves, especially when it's unpopular opinion. It's not even photography related because, like you said, what is this channel? This channel is no longer a photography channel.
It's whatever
Does he speak about
whatever he wants it to be.
Yes, that's exactly what it is, and I
Embarrassed.
respect that. I respect that his channel is the things that he care about. So if he cares about what's going on in Australia, he's going to talk about it. If he cares about this particular, but guess what? When somebody talks about what they care about, one thing you need to know is it is biased, right? So if this is something that's true to them, that you should already know this is their feelings on it. It doesn't mean they're approaching it in a way for everybody. It's just this is me. And so that's what I respect, because you have some people that don't. Yeah, some people that market themselves to be the best of the, for the people, when in reality it's their personal opinion. So when I get to see the difference, then I get to judge what comes out your mouth the right way. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
So you're taking it with a big, huge grain of salt.
If you get on my channel and all of a sudden you see me playing with dolls and toys and stuff, feel free to leave, okay? Because my channel has switched it up. I am no longer catering to the people who I initially wanted to cater to. I've switched it up, and feel free to leave. You don't have to stay and like me because I'm being me. Oh, I'm not doing what you need me to do. I'm gonna kick rocks. I'm not gonna beg you to stay because I'm being my no. You good? We good. I changed my mind. I want to do something else. I'm gonna try to find some new people. All right.
Yeah, I definitely think, like, in that, initially we have like these points that we start off with, whether it be gear focused, or if you're really like putting the message out, a lesson. We kind of start with that piece, and people come to our channel. Maybe you got nice models, so they come in for your models, and then gradually over time, I feel like the subscriber gets to know you as a person, and they start to come for you. At least you might have some other things that they're there for too. But if you can entertain them and interact, then they partially there for you too.
You know what, TMIDD? Let me say something real quick, and then Ike, I see your eyes. I know you're ready to jump too. I want you guys to jump on this. I agree with you, and especially in that maybe not every video you do, every one of your viewers likes the subject or whatever, the
Right.
topic, subject, or whatever. And I think sometimes we want them to like everything we do. Ike, you brought that up a minute ago. You're absolutely right too. How do you feel about that, Ryan? Do you try to make sure that what you put out entertains every viewer or every subscriber you have? Or
All right, so when I'm really Team is laughing because I'm at this funny point of my photography career, if you want to call it that, to where
Career.
yeah, to where it's like
I
He said, "Oh, career."
it's a career. So I'm sorry. So all right, so I did the Nikon stuff because it really grinded my gears, right? Looking at other people talk bad about Nikon.
we never saw that in your videos, though.
What's that?
We never saw that you were perturbed about the anti-Nikon.
Oh yeah, I had a few videos. I literally had a video for Jared Poland going extremely hard.
I
at
remember
him.
that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's where I
Sarcasm, Ryan,
subscribed.
sarcasm, buddy.
Yeah, so I had that, and then after a while, Matt Irwin really changed my mind on it because he came together with this. Listen, we need peace in the photography community, and I felt that. And it's like we don't all have to agree with each other, but I felt because the people I was making videos for was championing it, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta keep doing this. I'm like, and it just egged me to keep going. But looking at it, I was like, man, that's disgusting. Why am I doing this? I really was making videos because I knew that those people liked it. So now when I make videos, I experimented. I tried to do business. It didn't work. I would do a Nikon video. It would shoot to the top. So I said, you know what? I am going to make another channel and give the people what they want on my channel now. So now my channel is a Nikon channel. It's what it has to be. So I make videos for the people that watch them now. That's what I try to do.
Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah, my second channel is something
Making
that has
videos.
nothing to do with photography whatsoever. But I actually have fun on that. Like, I love that channel.
And you have you have to love it, Ryan. You can't play to the audience all the time, or you're not going to be true anymore. And everybody sees through that. So I think you've struck a good balance, man.
Yeah, that's one thing. With like me, I kind of shoot videos everywhere. Like I do photo shoot, I'll do gear, I'll do talking head, I'll try something new like film stuff. But one thing that you start to learn is your audience, and so automatically I know when I do a portrait photo shoot and put that out, I know that that's what my audience wants to see. So I know that's where I'm going to get the views. Now, I still experiment because you never know what else could potentially pop off.
Yeah. I think everybody here does a great job in balancing it. You obviously love what you're putting out, yet it appeals to, more and more people or whatever.
Yeah, I will say that I've never put out anything that I didn't. I will never make a video that I don't want to make. But I will say that like certain topics or certain things I've done because I'm chasing the bag, quote unquote, or chasing the views or chasing the view. I'm like, what can I put out that more people are gonna like? Or what can I put out? And like, I'm like, well, I might like this, but it probably might not get as many views, so I'm not gonna do it. But I've never like done something that went against the core of who I am or what I like to be as a person. So I can at least say that much. Like, and Ryan was like, I like peace. Like, I'm all for war. I'm like, where's the war? I'm ready to go. But
I'm like,
I
love people, man.
I like that.
A comment
Unity
on
University.
that. Man, I had the guitar player in my band. Man, he mentioned he's like, hey man, you need to be careful on your YouTube, man, because like you don't want to go back and forth with people in the comment section. I'm like, I don't give a damn. I felt my first
Twitter fingers.
My first whisper of success was whenever I hit about 150 subscribers and I started getting the broken English bots that were awake at like 2:30 in the morning. And they would just like throw out their bullshit and I would just go like toe to toe with them. As one guy, he's like, well, you should do this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. I'm like, it sounds like you need to start a YouTube channel to discuss the things differently than I'm doing. And he's like, but I'm a YouTube consumer, not a creator. And I was like, thanks for stopping by.
Nothing against you guys, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do because I'm not chasing the subscriptions and all that stuff, even though everybody keeps telling me in back channel, hey, you need to always ask for that. But I don't care about that right now. I'm having fun. Maybe later I do. But I understand why people put certain content on their channels because they are, and they're building an audience or trying to get into the, the YouTube algorithm for.
YouTube does not make it easy at all to any extent. So it's hard enough to get to 1,000 subscribers. It is equally as hard to get like as many watch time hours as they need. And then like on top of that, there's a lot of people that are writing a really, really fine line between this doesn't get monetized. Well, like why? Like there's what's the clarity on that? YouTube does not make it easy. And I'm not monetized, so I don't know, but I've also heard that once you do get monetized, they take a gigantic chunk.
I wouldn't know. I'm too far from it.
40%.
Yeah, 40, but listen,
that is harsh.
No, it's not. I'm gonna tell no, it's not. We can't do that. We can't. Two things I gotta go. One, it is hard in the beginning, and with me having the channel I have now and starting the new one, like I said, it's like it hit me all over again. Like, oh my God, it's really hard, right? But once you start getting those subscribers, they come. Trust me, they just start flowing in, right? So don't worry, that part is gonna get extremely easy for you. But two, what you have to realize is, as far as YouTube taking their cut, we have big files when we talk about these video sizes that they are putting on their, putting on their platform, paying whatever they need to pay to hold out videos, and it can change your life. Let's just say you have a preset pack for sale, right? And let's just say your preset pack is like $50, and every day 2 people buy your preset pack. That's $100 you are making from YouTube. Now it's all on what you choose to do with the platform to benefit from it away from the platform, but it is free to be a YouTube content creator. So I have no problem with them taking $40. They're getting the advertisers that's going to put the stuff on your video. Like they let you control it. If you have an 8-minute video, you could put ads all throughout it. You get to control where you put. It's just, I don't know. When it comes to that part, if that was the case, it's like, this is free. I just look at it like this is free. So
everybody look at my face right now. This is the look of somebody that just realized and is changing their mind, because that has never occurred to me before, the amount of work that would go on in the back end. And if you think about something like Rumble, who says that, oh, you get to keep most of your money, that platform is fucking horrible.
Well, so I was going to say, the cool thing about YouTube is you don't see them take the money, right? So when you look at your analytics and it shows you the revenue, that's what it is with the money already taken. Now, if you go deep into the analytics, you can see the total amount of money. But typically when you look at the analytics, their cut's already taken out. So that to me makes it easier, because it's just like, oh, it's not like you're seeing that you made $200 and you're gonna walk away 110. It just shows you the 110.
Yeah.
Psychologically, you're like, oh, I made $110. No, I actually made 200, but you know,
Yeah.
And it feels good just making the money. It's like I would have never made this before I was monetized. When I got monetized, I was like, oh, $30 I made yesterday. Oh, $40 I made yesterday. Where it's like I have my website monetized through AdSense already. So I get I have blog posts, and then on certain parts of my website, I put Google ads on. But what I get paid on my website is horrible compared to what I get paid on YouTube. On my website, I may make 20 cents this day or something like that. Like I'm waking up to like $30, $40, and then a nice size check. It's like, I don't know. I'm thankful.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm thankful.
YouTube, I'm sorry. I understand now. I understand.
no,
Thank
YouTube
you
pushed
for
me to
explaining.
Patreon.
Thank you for putting that into perspective, because I was like, this whole time I'm like, I'm not monetized yet, but fuck 40%, and I kind of understand now. I kind of
Well,
understand.
no.
Your
So
channel, your channel is gonna grow, bro.
I hope
But
so.
Watch.
to your,
Oh,
but
it
like
is.
I said, to your thing, whether you agree with the 40% or not, my thing is that you don't see it. So like, yeah, they take it, but you don't actually notice it. You just, when you log, like once you get monetized, they start showing you the money. You're like, oh, I'm making money. Then you just going about your day. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
you don't actually feel them taking it out.
Yeah,
Yeah. The only time I feel it is when.
Go ahead, TMIDD. Oh, he froze.
Oh no, I was gonna say the only time that I do feel it, Ike, is when I'm doing a
Super
live
chats.
stream.
Yeah,
And
super chats.
somebody
Yeah.
had dropped, like Ike was in the live stream, he dropped $10 and YouTube gave me $4.
Yeah. That's when they take it.
Yeah, I complain about that. That part I
Yeah.
will. And the reason why is because I feel like when a person gives you money, they're giving it to you.
Yeah.
So it's like it's different from the views. You put the ads on there, you got the people that want to put ads on your platform, do what you want to do. But if this person is like, I want to support you, Ryan, here's $20, and then they take that big chunk of that, I'm like,
Yeah.
come on.
Dude,
like,
What are you
that
doing?
one is different.
Yeah.
That one is different. I agree with you 1,000%
Hey,
on
YouTube,
that one.
charitable donations result in tax relief. Okay.
Right. And you still pay taxes. You still got to pay tax for that donation after they took that cut. So it's like that even just
Yeah. So at that point, in the super chat on the live streams, you're like, don't super chat me, just send it to my Cash App.
Yeah, that honestly that pushed me to Patreon, because when YouTube came out with that membership thing when you could join channels, I was like, oh, that's a cool little way for me to like make even more revenue on my channel. But for some reason, my channel I wasn't able to take advantage. Like other people were getting it, and I'm like, I don't have to join the membership thing. I never got the membership, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Patreon and put that content. Otherwise, had YouTube would have gave me that like option, I would have put my Patreon content on YouTube as the membership content, and then that would have been that, and they would have took 40% of that too. Now it's on Patreon, and I think Patreon takes like 20%. So, it kind of pushed me into a better direction overall. But man, if they would have just given me the option, they would have had everything in one. But they pushed me away.
Do you have that option now, or you still don't have it?
I haven't checked, and then like, why would I do that now? Why would I like, I might put it up there just to give two options for people, but like for people who don't want to go there, but I haven't checked, but if it doesn't, oh well.
So we've strayed a long way from portraits, but
hell yeah, we have.
Because you guys have been engaged, and you guys are keeping the audience entertained, and I'm happy about that.
Do we have any new questions in this time that we've been ranting?
Yeah,
I shared it to my Instagram, so I had to try to get some people to pop up.
Yeah, we need Ike to show us some portrait shots too.
Oh yeah, we had a portrait sharing session earlier.
Oh dang! Yikes!
All right,
yeah, he's like, what file can I use for this stream, Chuck?
Actually, I have a favorites thing that I put in on. I have like a favorite. How do we do that? How do we share the portraits?
There's a screen share button at the bottom next to the video on or off.
I was like, I got so many tabs. I'm trying to figure out which tab is the right one. I have because I remember when I did the talk with Vahagan, he asked for some pictures. So I created like a portfolio of like my favorite photos. And so I'm like, oh, now I just have something when people ask, I can just pull from.
Oh, you know what?
that.
While he's pulling that up, I didn't share my model horror story. It's real quick. I did a photo shoot with another photographer. He invited me out, and I had no idea what we were shooting. I knew we were shooting a single model. And just to make like a long story short, it was a topless shoot, and she brought her 3 children, and so we were shooting like behind dumpsters and stuff like that. And I was like, oh no, like I didn't know what I was getting into. And I do shoot like a lot of like nude work and stuff like that. But I was like, so we had to take turns like watching the children. And then like a homeless guy came into the mix, and he was like looking.
Oh wow.
He was like looking around like this. And so like I was like strapped up with my gear, and I'm like, I'm going to have to beat this guy to death with like my Z7 II. And to keep this as tame as possible, I went and I just shot for like 2 minutes, because I was like, I can't leave this guy over here by himself with this like homeless guy. Like I can scrap, like I can handle this guy, but I don't know if this guy can, whatever. And so we went back, and I was like, hey, did that guy keep his distance? And he was like, I just hope that he's taking a leak over there. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. Like it was weird. Like we were by like a train car, and he had a rope, and he was like looking at it, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to hang himself in front of these children. Like, what is going on? It was just bad. And so I was like, dude, I'm going to have to fight this guy or whatever. Absolute horror show. Yeah. And he was shooting for like 30 minutes at a time. And so I was like the kids were like playing with glass, and I'm like, no, put that down.
Yikes.
It was horrible, man. It was a bad one.
Oh, good old Wichita.
Wichita's
it goes down in Wichita.
I'll tell you, man. I hope nobody that was there. I didn't share this one to my Facebook, because I had planned on maybe getting into like where I'm from and stuff like that. It gets a little wild over there sometimes.
Yeah. I just steal Ryan's spot real quick. One other shoot I had. This is when I really first started recording my BTS shoots, which was like 2019 is when I really started doing the YouTube thing. But what happened was I let the model choose her own clothes and everything. Man, so we got to the shoot. The clothes were just ridiculous. They were wrinkled. Hair wasn't done. I was like,
hey, one question, TMIDD. Did you give her photos?
oh.
He pretended to do the shoot and was like, oh, my memory card was corrupted.
You know, it's something about when you have a model that you just know is money, and it just gives you positive energy to see it through. When I seen her, I just lost all hope, and I just couldn't really understand why she even followed through with doing it. And the funny thing was, you know, she told me after the fact, like, man, I'm so sorry. You know, I didn't have my hair done. And I'm like, yeah, like, why would you even tell me that we could do it? And it's not like, that was probably one of the worst, where I just like instantly got turned off.
How
So
crazy
TMIDD, did that change your whole theme for the shoot?
Yeah, I was going for some beauty portraits. Then I had to turn to grungy.
How wild can we get in this stream? I'll do my best to
Not
keep
wild.
it.
Nope, not wild. And drop the F-bombs.
Sorry. Okay, I won't tell the story then. I won't tell the story.
Right.
I'll keep it to myself. It's
My daughter's in here, man.
okay, absolutely not.
Just kidding.
You gotta tell her to close her eyes.
Yeah, she's all grown up. All right, but
No.
yeah.
I won't tell this one. I'll save this for another interview some other time, or maybe I'll tell the story on my channel, because I have absolutely I have nothing to hold back on my channel. So
Again, I have to say, everybody in here is exactly the way you are on your channels. I love that.
I went and
Brian
brought a
Troy
model a whole outfit.
is the interviewer, and every time he says, "Hang on, I have a two questions."
Yeah.
Ike is Ike because he's all about. No, I'm saying what I'm saying. TMIDD, the computer guru, sits back and just watches and listens.
I will watch my language, Hassan. I apologize for that.
I have my screen share. I don't know if you can see it.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Yep, hang on.
Okay, so like this, I've shot this guy twice. This is my second time shooting him. When we talk about guys, I'm like, oh, this is a customer, like he's a client. Now I gotta shoot guys when they pay. I don't shoot you for fun. If you want a guy like, do you shoot guys? Yeah, when they pay.
Yeah, when they pay.
Yeah, exactly. No, so this is a client. He actually scores like films and stuff like that. So he's a musician and he scores like indie films and things like that. And like this is a studio, and so I try to go with like a moody light for him. So I have a beauty dish, I think a 34-inch or a 24-inch beauty dish, like right camera left, and I'm shooting to the side and the light's coming, and then he has like this lights back there. So I just tried to work with the light just to give him a more like moody with some more shadow, some more texture to the photo. And then like there's another picture. Yeah, actually this. Go to the next one. Yeah, this is like more lighting, more directly, with his piano and all of his stops, his little computer on the side and things like that. This is actually like this is damn near my whole portfolio. Like this is a bucket list location. So this shoot was just as much about the model as it was about the location. And whereas this is Ruby Beach, is about 2.5 hours from me, and so I like drove all the way up there with a model who I know could like kill like the swim look, but I also wanted to get the environment. So
just into that island back there.
He used to die.
just real quick, I want to say, like, I like this photo so much because I feel like it breaks the rules. Like it breaks the rules of composition a little bit, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. What else is up here? Who knows? Oh yeah, no, that's not something that. This is the same thing. Hold on, let me find a better photo. Oh, you know what? You shouldn't know. Wow, but oh well, this shouldn't be too bad. This is one of my favorites that I don't really show too much. This is at the Hot Springs. Hot Springs. Yeah, but I just like her facial expression, like the bent knee with the leg poked back, with the angle coming here. Like this shot to me is everything.
The silvery tones of her skin are amazing.
Is that natty light?
Yeah. There's no I didn't use it. It's natural light. Of course, you can see like there's snow, so like there was some like the light was working. It was an overcast day, so it was easy to shoot. This location is actually pretty challenging though for natural light. It's actually a hard location to shoot. You only get certain poses, and so this is one of the best spots for that. And then I like this shot a lot because I used a Canon lens on my Nikon for this one, the Canon 1.2, the Canon 85 1.2. I actually looked on KEH for like a used Canon 85 because like, man, I really like the 85 1.2, and I was looking and I was like, color. Bro, and I'm like, yo, that lens is still damn near $2,000. I'm like, why is it still so much? I was like, if I pay I might as well get the Nikon one. I was like, maybe I can get one for like 13, 14. No, it's still the Canon EF 85 1.2, not the RF, the EF one. It's still close to $2,000. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay $2,000 for other brand that I got to adapt. But I just really like the character, and part of me is I enjoy, like TMIDD, you were talking about how the 85 1.8S is one of the best lenses. It's awesome, but the thing about the Nikon glass is that I feel like sometimes it can be a little bit too perfect, and I just like want lenses with a little bit more character. And so I'm starting to look into like this 1.2, this 85 1.2 that has character, as opposed to like the new one that's going to come out that's going to be clinically sharp, excellent, and be like almost digital looking, So
yeah.
We had to talk about that a while back, Ike. The difference between is sharpness everything for photography. For some subjects, I think it is, but others, like you said, I think character trumps sharpness.
I have a lot of content about that.
I feel the same. I feel like sharpness is overrated, and I feel like the scene matters more so, in the motion and the composition matters more so than the sharpness. And I get like, I'm like, when people say, "Oh, but it's not super sharp and the bokeh is messy," I'm like, like, you really are looking at the wrong thing if you're like judging the bokeh. Like, oh, this bokeh is not as good as that bokeh.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so. But anyway, that's all I'm showing off. That's it. I shoot weddings, so. And also, you know what? Let me show off a little, because this is one of my favorite wedding images.
Good shot.
That's another one, Natty Light. But also, we were in New York, and I was playing with my Z6. I was trying to do some street photography, but I was playing with motion. So she caught me taking a picture, but like I dragged the shutter. So like for the most part, these are still, but there's some motion. Like this guy was walking by, this guy standing here. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Ooh."
That's a good shot.
Yeah.
And then like this one was in one of those buildings in New York, but I was like holding the shutter. So I was dragging the shutter to get the motion, but it's still, you can tell it's still now. This one right here, I was like, yo, I wanted to go down. So I was like, yo, can I holler at you for a second? But my family was there, so I couldn't. I couldn't do no code. I couldn't do no codable. I was like, hey, yo. But anyways, bing bong.
She's sharp. She's sharp. She in focus.
Yeah, right. This is another one where I tried to play with like dragging the shutter to get some motion, but also like still. So, anyways, all right, that's enough.
Ooh, we have a good question. I'd like to tackle this one.
I'll throw this up here for you guys. I'm gonna go get a photo. My darling daughter wants you guys to see. I can't pull it up on this computer, so I'll just get the print and be right back.
Okay. I'll tackle this one first if you guys don't mind. So, model safety. You could make the argument that an individual is responsible for their own safety. You could make that argument if you wanted. However, I am what some would consider not a very daring photographer. So I don't play around with the railroad track shots. I don't play around in traffic to get a particular shot or anything like that. So I'm pretty conservative and safe in the ideas that I come up with. There's also the aspect of individuals, whether it be creepers or, like I said, about the crazy homeless guy. For me, I always am on guard to protect the people that I'm shooting, whether it's a client or whether it's a fun shoot. Location wise, you can do whatever you want. I would never tell you what to shoot or how to shoot, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with playing on the safe side. So there's no reason to get the epic shot of a woman that's 9 months pregnant at a maternity shoot to have her climb down next to a waterfall over a bunch of rocks. Would it look cool? Yes. But me and Chuck actually had a conversation about liabilities and stuff like that. And I'm not exactly sure what I need insurance for in like a business sense. And so I just opt out of dangerous, or what I would consider dangerous locations with shady people. I had somebody that wanted to shoot in a dangerous part of Wichita, and I said, no, you can perhaps check out this photographer, because that's not safe for me and my gear, nor do I find it safe for you. So yeah, I don't know about guidelines. I feel like they're very individual, but me personally, as the photographer, I do find it to be my responsibility. Like in here, I feel like it's my responsibility to keep my model safe. So I always pack heat anyway, because you're allowed to in Kansas, and I have the licensure to do so. And yeah, that's just how I roll. I love that freaking shot, Chuck. Wow.
Yeah. Hey, what do you carry?
It's changed over the years. Right now I'm carrying a SIG 9mm.
Which I was looking at. I think it's 365 or 320. Which one is the subcompact?
Hang on a second.
Oh, he's gonna go get it.
I gotta go get a photo off the wall.
Yeah, that's a nice print.
Yeah,
I have
you can't really see it for whatnot.
229, which is in between full size, like the military full size one and the compact.
Okay, all right. Then sorry, you give me your mind.
Where
I'll
you
be I'll,
get your
I'll
prints
be on the
done at, Chuck?
PTubes.
Hey, Agnetha, that is a street photography shot. I was down in New York City in a car driving by, and I saw this guy. And it's just one of those photos that you see, and you know you got to shoot it.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you, Chuck. I hadn't seen any of your work yet, and so I was wondering at what level you are. Man, you have got some great freaking shots, my guy. Wow, that is
No,
an
man,
amazing shot.
they're really not mine. I just go around the internet stealing them.
What I carry, ZWade.
Nice.
Uh,
M&P, that's a good one. Anybody else want to comment on model safety?
Yeah, one of the things that I figured out, first of all, you kind of touched on, train tracks. First of all, people, I got a lot. My first photo shoot was on a train track, and the backlash I got from that, I learned so quickly not to shoot on the train track, no matter what I thought, at that point in time. So, from there, man, that
learn
it
the hard
was
way.
like really my key point, in ensuring, the safety of the model. Even like trying to get to like some locations, sometimes it could be, a nice feat to get to some location. So I try to make sure that they can do that. And then you have the other piece where it's like model safety. Sometimes the location can be in the case of, in somebody's house. And so like for me, a lot of times, doing live streams is a good way to ensure the safety of a model and also, protect myself, and then also let them bring a buddy to,
Always.
bring that piece in too. So yeah, I think that is a a point that you have to make, because you don't want them to be trying to get you hemmed up out here.
For me, shooting the amount of nude work that I shoot, I'm absolutely flattered if you trust me enough to come and shoot with me alone. I appreciate the trust, but my advice to models is any photographer that has a problem with you bringing a friend, that is a red flag, like an absolute creep with a camera move. Like you can't really play around in that kind of situation. And even in Wichita, actually probably Kansas wide, it is. I have heard that it's actually legal for women to be topless in public. There's like no like rule against it, but I don't play public nudity. I don't have any ambition to do like I appreciate oh god, what's his name? I just went blank on it. That Nikon guy.
Matt Granger.
Matt Granger. He has his public bodies. I appreciate that type of work, and I would love to do that someday. But I don't have like huge ambitions to do that. You could totally do it. There's always the appropriate permits to do that kind of stuff. But to me, that's doing one nude model in public is just asking for a lot of people to walk by and get strange and want to come up and watch. And I just don't find that to be like a safe kind of situation. I can do beautiful work in studio or in a beautiful expensive like hotel room for like a more kind of classy kind of magazine type looking thing. I just don't need to expose models to that kind of situation. I don't have any ambitions that require it.
Hey, Ryan Troy just dropped out his camera. He's going to stay in the chat room. And with that said, everybody just gained about 15 pounds when the spread out. My daughter, she'll be my model. That's my problem, guys. I don't have any models. So
Hey, we gotta get you on.
Hey, but your
got
daughter has
Instagram,
friends.
Chuck?
I know she got friends.
yeah, I've got a print of her too that I could show. I did of her a while back.
You got Instagram, Chuck?
Yeah, but I never use it.
Hey, we got to show you how to slide in the DMs.
No, I
Yo,
use
imagine Chuck's face icon. Say, hey, what's good? Like,
You want to know what's funny?
Never let me have Instagram if that's the case.
You want to know what's funny? What's funny about Instagram is I've actually dug up a lot of business from Instagram because I'm a single guy, and so I frequent like the dating apps, and they're absolutely filthy with like OnlyFans models or things like that. And so you always like you match with somebody, and they're like, "Oh, go find me on Instagram." I'm like, "Okay, I know this drill." And so what I do is I go over there. I'm like, if you're going to try to fish me like that, I slide in their DMs and I say, I'm absolutely not interested in buying your content. But if you ever need a photographer, let me know. ZWadePhoto.com. And you know what? I've drummed up business like that.
Yep.
I don't like shooting OnlyFans just because I have a portfolio that's thick with less risque material. And I don't allow them to associate my business with it. Just because I don't want that to be like my business. But if you got money, I'll take it. And for a couple $100, we can shoot for an hour, and you have free rights to it. And you never saw me. You make money off of it.
Yeah.
I made my money.
Hey, Josh, thanks for the comment on the photo. You don't see my work because I only have 4 or 5 photos out of 20 or 30,000 that I even think are worthy.
Oh, come on. I want to see it all, Chuck.
No,
This live stream is sponsored by Squarespace. You go build you a Squarespace. No, just kidding.
Oh man. See, how many people realize we've been in there 2 hours and 31 minutes? When you're having fun, time flies.
I jumped on when I didn't jump on, but I remember I saw it when it was at 30 something minutes because I was finishing up this video and I'm like, oh, let me put on YouTube in the background while I like timestamp. I was timestamping parts and it doesn't require me to like have the audio. So I was like, oh, let me pull up some on YouTube. And I was like, wait, what? So and so's live. And I'm like, oh yeah. See what these guys are talking about.
That crazy old man.
Here's a good question from I Am Hassan. Says, you guys think the race to lens perfection is ruining the art of photography? No, because I think the art, here's my thoughts on it.
Quick. No, it's great.
There's
you can
an
always
art.
find older lenses if you like or whatever.
Mhm.
And you can also use filters. There's a million things you can use. It could be ruining the art of photography if the new folks coming up think that's the only way you can shoot. Then it's up to us to teach them different.
I think
you guys do that.
I think there's an art to the engineering. Myself, just because like I'm a techie guy, like I love that stuff. But I think there's an art to the engineering, but I think the art is the shooter, and so like it is what you make it. I do believe
that's going to be the case, and that's exactly what we need to be teaching this up and coming generation, which is one of the reasons. Yet another, I need to write a list of why I'm doing this whole channel.
I like
it's all for photography. It's all for Nikon, and it's all for shutting up the people that talk without knowing what they're saying, about cameras and everything else. So
there is nothing worse than somebody on YouTube. I'm not going to throw out any names, but somebody on YouTube that's coming out and they're right about everything, and everything that I've ever seen is cookie cutter. Yeah.
Well, like look, I'm not going to knock anybody's their photography, the way they edit or whatever. That's the way they want it. I don't want anybody telling me, "Hey, your photos are way too contrasty."
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe because that's what I like.
Yeah, sure.
And again, I'm not shooting for someone that has a image in their head that they want, and I'm trying to dig that out of their head to figure out how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shooting what I like, and if somebody were to say, "Hey, would you take my photo?" Guess what? That's what they're going to get. because
Sure.
it's what I do. So had a big conversation on B&H one night with no Adorama, the live streams they do. I always like watching the stuff they do, Daniel Norton and all those guys. And anyway, got into a big discussion about um, oh shoot, editing photos, women especially, especially skin and everything else, frequency separation, blah blah blah. And they were arguing, saying, "I don't touch anything. I don't, that's not right. Photographers shouldn't do it." And I'm thinking, no, that's a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Show me a woman that says, "Hey, you know what? Can you leave every wrinkle on my face? I don't want you to mess one of them up." No.
Oh
Right.
man, you haven't
Show me a
seen
woman
it.
that says that. My
You
point
haven't-
is that, why are we telling photographers again how they should edit, what they should shoot, and everything else? Let's just look at, if you don't like somebody's rendition of this portrait or whatever, that's fine. But you don't have to say, "Well, it sucks." No,
Yeah.
you don't have to tell them that.
It's not your cup of tea.
Yeah,
It's not
I
your
mean,
cup of tea.
that's where the creativity goes. So the question earlier was, are all the new lenses ruining the art of photography? No, I think photographers are ruining the art of photography.
Yeah.
That part.
That's it. That's the highlight, man, right there.
Just because you got a star filter doesn't mean it has to be in every shot you take.
Yeah.
And
Very
now
true.
this about video, your whole video does not have to be 4K 120 in slow motion.
Yeah.
Right.
I love slow motion, but the whole video doesn't have to be that way. Okay.
I just encourage, as far
But
as
if that's what
editing
you
goes,
do, that's okay.
Wait,
I'm just
Chuck,
saying.
Chuck is on one. He's fired up right now.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
look here, Chuck. When I get that Z9, I'm not making no promises. Okay. hey,
I want to see that. I want to
my
see.
turn. All right.
I want to see a photo me video, and it's all slow motion.
I want to see a lens review in slow mo.
I remember. It's funny you mentioned that because I was making a joke, but I actually did do that earlier with the Z7. When I rented it, I did like a slow. It was like a little video, like a little montage. It was like a little music video, but it just was
That's
a model
different.
walking around being pretty. It wasn't, but it was a one-time thing. It wasn't like I do every time, but So.
When I get to Z9, y'all can beat me up because then I'll be able to do that.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Like, why easy for you to say you haven't been able to do it? No, once you get to do it, you know what?
I'll be the first to say, "Well, I never had it, so I didn't know." No,
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
D62 does it. So, oh man, Agnetha, good question or comment there. The camera's being packed full of features. No, again, I truly believe I had a moment of clarity there when I said it's the photographers that are doing it.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's our fault too. Those of us that are in the community now and they're watching us, if they learn bad things or traits from us, then they're just going to keep doing it. What they need to know is there's nothing wrong with anything they produce. Everybody's not going to like it, but they need to produce what they like.
I mean, you can go out and you can do a shootout with a Z9 versus the camera that I started with, which was a Nikon D3200. And I have just as much ability to make something more creative than the Z9. It's all about me. It may not have as good of noise control.
I want the Z9 because I want a picture of a daggone well, shoot. What's my bird back here? That helps you, doesn't it?
A kingfisher?
I don't see.
I want a picture of a kingfisher with its beak touching the water. Okay, that's the only reason I'm buying the Z9.
Hey, look, I always say like anybody, whenever you can afford it, anybody can justify anything. Anything can be justified, no matter how like big or small it is. It can be justified to the right person, to the person who can justify it. So,
yeah,
no,
you know what? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I spoke to TMIDD about this, about like cameras and like technology and like the fact that like YouTube pushed me to buy a Z6. Like I was fine with my D750 and D800, but because I made YouTube content, I was like, oh, I want to get a Z6. And then part of it was like, oh, I have a Z6 so I can make content with it for YouTube. Also, I'll be able to use it in my work. Also, I'll have a decent video camera, so if I ever want to record, I can use my Z6 to record. With me, you know, I reserved the Z9. Hopefully, I'll be able to get one when it comes out. But even with that, with me, I don't want to get locked into the every shoot has to be done with the Z9. Like, I still own a Z6. I still own a Z6 too, and like a lot of times, the stuff I shoot doesn't require. Is most of the stuff 99% of the stuff I shoot on YouTube does not require a Z9. The stuff that I shoot on YouTube. But, you know, I might use the Z9 for video, but, you know, again, the photographers, the audience are like, hey, where's the Z9 at? How come you're not using it? Is it not good enough? Like, you know, so you got to deal with that. Like, how come you're not using that? So,
because I didn't want to today, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear you, Ike, but my motto is I don't need it. I want it.
I'm all for you. I'm with you right there. So,
no, and I've said this before over Nikon Rumors. I know all you guys have at one time or another been over there and watched the shenanigans go on. And I'm tired of people telling me what I need.
Yeah.
You know, how about we just skip that part and talk about photos or something? But I don't want, I don't need a financial advisor over there in the forum telling me, can I afford it? You know, or an engineer telling me why I should wait for the next version or whatever. So
I will be right back, guys.
I'm sorry. I need to calm down.
You know, no, I have to dip out now. I gotta go. My video is done, so it's exporting. I gotta go use the bathroom. My kids are calling me outside, and I want to leave. So, all right, I'm out.
Hey, thanks for joining. I'm going to get you on here one night and just get you going because
for sure.
Talk about it's hard with so many people in here.
It was kind of impromptu, so I was like, "Oh man, I'm up here now." I'm like, "Let me just hang around and talk." And I enjoy talking, but I'm like, "Crap!" Like, I didn't plan for it, so I'm like, "Oh, I'm still doing stuff and still got stuff going on." So, but yeah, no, thanks for having me. And yeah, just let me know when you want, and we can coordinate a time.
Yeah, man, we're gonna get Agnetha in here too. She's walking around, you know, following everybody, and it's time for Agnetha to get in here and start.
Yeah, I'm like, is Agnetha even real? I'm like, I'm questioning, is this a real person? Because like, she's a little too like, maybe it's a candidate in here, but I'm like, you're a little too positive. Like you. Like it's not one inch of troll in your body. Like, are you trolling that you're this nice, or are you like not? Are you like a bot that's like trained to be nice? Because I'm like, acting is just too friendly. I'm like, nah, I don't believe you. So,
all right,
she will, yeah. I know, seriously though. No, all right.
Hey, seriously, thanks for joining us. So
no problem, man.
Guys, just like everybody else, you guys are welcome back anytime. Anytime you want to jump in with whatever's going on, you know, just get in the chat, and I'll make sure that we get it to you. Although I have no way to get it to you, Ike, because I haven't. I've got TMIDD on Facebook chat, or whatever it's called, Messenger. I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna have to hook up.
You don't have Instagram, so you don't have nobody in the DMs on Instagram.
And I don't even know how to open Instagram.
Lord Jesus.
Look at this. Does that look like Instagram here?
Oh yeah,
this is typewriter hair, brother.
Nah, that look like the OG Instagram hair. Like you was like, nah, I was the OG Instagram back in the day.
I am on Instagram because my daughter's gonna tell on me, but I tried the other day to put a thing on there about the YouTube video or live stream, and I'm sure that got laughed at.
You have your assistant built in right here who is helping you, who can facilitate these things, and you just letting her be in the.
Are you talking about TMIDD or my daughter?
Your daughter, Courtney. Like,
I take all my technical stuff to TMIDD.
Okay, yeah, there you go, Eric.
No, all right, yeah, I know. When I used to get a new iPhone way back when iPhones just began, I'd get a new one. And I had to have my daughters actually set it up for me.
Oh, you said daughters with two. How many you got?
3.
Oh, I have 3 too. I have 3 girls.
Oh, brother, let me tell you, love them now.
Yeah.
Said that with one of them in the chat. Hardcore.
Well, she's my good baby.
Right, she here, and that's the one that's gonna take. I tell her like, oh, it's his insurance. It's my insurance policy. Like, I got 3 girls. One of these is gonna take care of me.
Yeah,
So,
well, you're seeing the one that I can count on.
yeah, there you go. So,
Right.
which order is she? Oldest, youngest? Which one
He's
is
the
she?
baby.
Oh, okay, all
There you
right.
go. My baby is 32.
Okay, jeez, bro.
Hey Chuck, I don't want to make you feel
Jeez.
old, but I'm 31. Just throwing that out
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
How old is your oldest?
how old's your sister, Courtney? 40. She'll be 40 this year.
Okay, because I turn 39 next May. I'll be 39. So,
Or no, 40 next year. I'm sorry.
Damn,
well, yeah,
you're
it's
young.
close enough. It's the
Somewhere.
black. Yeah,
It's-
I have the grays. I have the grays, and low key.
Hey, you
I'm
know
like,
what?
I'm starting
Here
to
you
see
go.
it come.
Here you go. I'm gonna make you feel real good. Since I started watching you, Ike, I have seen your hair turn gray.
Yeah, well, there
It
you go.
wasn't that way when I first started following you. What is going on, man?
When I first started YouTube, I had 1 kid. Now I have 3 kids. Okay, my first
Oh, man.
video from the time I started YouTube, and I've been in YouTube since 2016. I have 3 kids now, but when I started at 1, that hey,
I'll tell
The
you what it
kid.
is. It's 3 girls.
yeah, for sure.
And the dread of them growing up and worrying about them. And then when they get older, well, I'll let you experience that.
Yeah, they say I don't have any boys, but they say that like boys are harder in the beginning, but they get easier as they get older, and girls are easy in the beginning. They get harder as they get older, and I believe that to be true because I was a guy, and like I can understand boys being rambunctious and a handful at the young age, but when they get older, they go off and do their own thing. But the
And
girls, you gotta, when they get older, them the ones, the emotions also because I'm a photographer, I deal with women. I have seen. I'm a teacher. I also teach part time, so that too. So
yeah,
I'm always dealing with young adults, young females, young males as well. So yeah.
I can't speak from experience because obviously I didn't have a boy, but I always said that boys would be easier because if I had boys and my 22-year-old son said, "Hey, Dad, I need money," I'd say, "Well, get a job."
Yep,
It's
exactly.
hard to say that to
Exactly.
daughters, though.
Exactly. Yep.
I don't know
That
what
part.
it is, but anyway, hey, now you're blessed, buddy, and that's great. I'm glad, 3 beautiful kids. I love all mine. They aggravate me to death, but I still love them. I can't
She
quit
said for
loving
sure.
them.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna
I'll
clock
dip out
out
here.
too.
we'll let you go now.
Thanks a lot, fellas.
No, it's been fun, Ike. Thanks again.
Yeah, I'm gonna clock out and finish this video. I got, I'm doing this 25 days of Christmas, so
I'm trying to keep up with you, so if I put a corny comment in there, it's because okay, what can I say? I just want to give you a comment because I know the algorithm counts comments, right?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it
So I'm
helped.
always going to give you a comment.
I
All of it.
appreciate it.
No problem. Sometimes I will not lie. Sometimes I'm busy, but I see it pop up and I think, okay, well, I'll just plug it in or turn it on and then I
Oh
go
yeah.
do my business because
Oh
I want
yeah.
to get that full view or whatever in the algorithm.
No, I appreciate that. It all helps.
Yeah. So again, it's back to, man, we just got to take care of each other. We're the little guys down here, the bottom feeders right now, but we're going to get big. We're going to have millions of subscribers.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, that's
I
destined.
sure hope so.
All right, TMIDD, thanks again for coming by, man. I really enjoyed it. Always do. We'll do it some more.
All right, man.
Hey, Tim,
right.
it's nice meeting you, my man.
Same here, man.
All right, buddy. All right. Hey, Zach.
That was a good chat, man. That was a good chat.
I am Hassan. Hey, I appreciate you being in here all the time, too. We're going to have to drag you in for a live stream as well. This isn't some uppity YouTube influencer channel. Again, I want it to be fun. Get Mike Farwell in here one of these days. So that said, Wednesday, I will have another live stream. This one may not go as long. But just to check in case there's any info on the Z9. And, guys, I'm watching everything I can on YouTube and other chat or rumor sites and everything else. If I hear it, you're going to hear it from me on one of the live streams to try to keep you guys up to date. I know people don't have time to search everything on the web, but right now I kind of have that opportunity. So that's where I'm dragging up all these rumors and things. So if there's anything on the Z9 or the 1-400 that's different from what we know today, I'll bring it up on Wednesday. If that's the only reason to be on, I won't be on long. But if people want to chat, anybody that wants to stick around, I'm not going to end these live streams at a certain time. If there are people in the chat, in the audience, and guests don't have to go anywhere, we're just going to keep it rolling and have fun. So Wednesday at 9 p.m. will be the next. And then Saturday, I try to do Saturday as a scheduled live stream, and that's at 9 p.m. as well. Paul, or I can't remember your name, I'm so sorry. He's over in Europe, I think in Britain, in the UK, and it's like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, I think he said, or something like that. So, man, I appreciate you being in here as well. And I appreciate everybody that's been in here and hung around for hanging around. I'm absolutely humbled that people would actually come and listen to me babble. But now I guess I can say that it's the guests that are jumping in here in the live streams that everybody wants to see. So again, thank you very much. I noticed there were a couple of subscribers tonight. I'm just tickled about that because it makes me feel good knowing that somebody actually, enjoys the content. So
Yeah, for sure.
what else? General photography chat. Yeah, Agnetha, general photography chat, good for everybody. Yeah, I agree. And I love your dog, Zach. Love that, man. Beautiful.
She makes quite a few appearances. Actually, every piece of camera gear I have ever owned gets tested on her first. She's the most reliable model I have.
There you go. There you go.
Right? Can I have a kiss?
Yeah, landscape photography. I've been thinking about that, and I have a few people, but you got to understand, I'm a nobody, and I come cold calling for them to, hey, you want to join me on a live stream? And they're like, well, who are you? But you know what? I've got a couple of invitations out there right now with some people, and we'll see how that goes. If you guys haven't seen his channel yet, Peanut Chew, as in the Peanut Chew. Look for him on YouTube. I think you'll get a kick out of it. He's a bird photographer, wildlife photographer, and he just has fun with it as well. But he knows his stuff, and I just had a good time watching him. He's one of those guys that's just started not too long ago and trying to break his way into YouTube. Yeah, you've seen him, Mike. He's a lot of fun to watch, isn't he?
I have to check him out.
I've trained my daughter well. Mike, at times, I don't know if she trained me or I trained her. So
Chuck gives her extra allowance to come in and chat in the chat.
Yeah, exactly. All right, baby. I'll send that check right to you.
She's going to pop in one of these days and be like, Dad, you're late on the payment.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the last time we are reaching out to you before it goes into collection.
So, Mike, back to your recommendation of landscape photography. I'll see who I can find. If you've got any ideas of folks that might be interested, just let me know or drop me the names, and I'll go stalk them on Facebook and send them a cold call.
Also, real quick, I know we drifted quite well off course of the portraits. Does anybody have any questions or tips or advice seeking for portrait photography that I could throw out? And I don't want anybody to leave empty-handed. If they had something they wanted to ask and forgot, or maybe I missed it, I have no idea.
Yeah, there you go. And I know who that is. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a cold call on Mr. Gavin Hardcastle. He's landscape, but funny. A lot of fun in his
What's Phil Thatch, you said, or Gavin Hardcastle?
Phil Thatch and Gavin Hardcastle. This guy, his videos they're hilarious. But he is a great landscape photographer.
You know who I think is really funny? Kai W. Kai W
Oh yeah,
makes me laugh.
yeah. You know, there are a lot of people that'll you could pay them to come on, and I just feel like that's that crowd. But yeah, I'd love to have Kai on here. You talking about
Kai is
food.
funny, man. He's funny. He's like subtly funny. Like you really have to listen to him because he's quick. You know, it's just like it's just little bits of humor in there.
Yeah, Mike, his girlfriend is a hoot, man. They're just a great pair. They're enjoyable to watch.
You know, I really like the partnership chemistry between
Be right back.
Becca and Khan, at Grays of Westminster. I love their back and forth. It's so wholesome and funny. You know what I mean? I see a lot of like names that I recognize, man. It's good to see like people coming back and like checking us out. I will definitely check out Gavin Hardcastle and Phil Thatch. I'll give him a look too. Phil Thatch. Any questions for me? Personal photography questions? Doesn't have to be about portraits. It could be about anything. I don't have any good jokes. Man, I can't believe I feel so like honored that like I'm not joking whenever I say that like everybody that was in here tonight. Well, TMIDD, I haven't he's never popped up in my feed before. But I mean everybody else, it's like those are the people that I watch now. All of the old people that I used to watch, I don't watch them anymore. It was so freaking crazy to like be on with the people that I actually watched, man. That's wild. Oh man, Chuck does, man. That one of the guys smoking a cigarette is absolutely beautiful. Oh man, that's beautiful.
Oh, you know what, Agnetha, I will get some photos, and so at least I can display them up here. And they look right on screen. I don't understand what happened there a minute ago or a little while ago. Yeah, I've got a few. I've got a few photos that are worth looking at. But again, it's all done my way, and I'm not a bit insulted if somebody says, "Well, I don't care for it." Okay, that's what photography's about.
Yeah, I've actually never had another photographer or another non-photographer say that they didn't like something about my edits. I mean, I have my rebuttal for that. Like if somebody did have something to say, but like I see, not directly to me, but like I've heard people like contrast is the big one. It's like it's too much contrast or like not enough contrast. And I always tell people, I'm like, figure out what the trends are. I try to stay away from trends because like that's my thing. But figure out what the trends are. If you think it's cool, experiment with it a little bit. But the main goal is to do what you do and develop your style of editing, and that's like, and it doesn't have to be that way forever, but find a way to like make yourself happy. And I think that it's a recommendation that you try to make yourself different, because I find a lot of happiness in being different. That's not everybody, but yeah, do the contrasting colors you like.
Yeah, that's just the thing, everybody has to shoot what they love, or my opinion is they won't be very good at trying to mimic somebody. There's nothing wrong with trying to copy somebody's style and then tweaking it to your own. I don't mean that, but you have to want to do that.
Sure.
If you're doing it just because critics are telling you should, then you're doing the wrong thing. I think it's, you just got to do what you enjoy.
Yeah. And back to portrait photography, that's really important in portrait photography, because like portrait photography can start to like, it can start to get to where like everybody's portraits look the same. And so like I always encourage people to don't worry about like over editing a portrait. Like just because it's somebody's face, like you don't have to show them all the ridiculous stuff that you did to their face. You don't have to show them. Just do something that makes you happy, and find like some kind of line between like like art and service, you know, do something that's like, oh, this was so much fun to edit. I feel like people get into a routine of, yeah, now we have to do this and we have to remove this from somebody's face and we have to do that and blah, 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 blah. And this, we have to smooth it out. I'm like, you don't have to.
No,
You don't have to.
Well, Ray Powell, and that's who I was thinking of. Ray, sorry I didn't remember your name. I think you're in the UK, right? And I appreciate it. If you are, I appreciate you hanging in here with us. But you're absolutely right. You take pictures for yourself, not the critics. And you know what? You can still have a business in photography by doing that, because people will come to your style. If they come to you knowing what they're going to get, then you can feel confident that you're not going to have an issue. The other thing is, if it's your style, you're that much more confident and that much faster in producing the photos that they're looking for, rather than trying to mimic somebody else's style. So, I mean, that seems to be the best way to go. I'm not so sure that I would get a lot of people. However, I know of a guy several years ago that did weddings, and he shot everything super high key. And everybody was telling him he was wrong. He didn't know how to expose. That's what he did. And guess what? He had people that came to him and wanted him to shoot their weddings for whatever reason. But he was doing what he liked, and people recognized it was something they liked. And, you know, there you go. That's the match made in heaven.
Ooh, I see a question for me. To answer your question, I hope I say your name right, Agnetha. My favorite lens changes all the time. I've had several favorites. My favorite camera is probably, it was the D610 forever, because I literally rolled the shutter on one and was getting up there on the second one. But my favorite camera is the Z6 II, because it's incredibly versatile, and it's just incredibly useful in so many ways. My favorite lens currently is the 50mm f1.2Z, but my favorite lens, maybe of all time, would be the Zeiss 35mm Distagon f2.
Fell M, I agree with you. Shoot what you want. Mike, I see what you're saying. And yeah, if you're a photographer and it's a bit, I think it just moves me. It would move me out of my love for photography if I had to cater to someone and they wanted a look that I don't shoot or whatever. And I guess this is where portfolio is your friend, because if they come to you based on your portfolio, and in my opinion, you should put in there what you enjoy shooting or how you enjoy shooting. And if they come to you, they know what they're going to get, and there isn't going to be a big discussion about, like Vahagan said, and one of his clients that came, and they were complaining because he wasn't shooting with a Canon camera or something.
I loved that story.
So anyway, if they come to you based on your portfolio, you're safe. Then do your thing and do it well and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Charge, it's not about yourself. You're absolutely right. And that is an issue. If you're going to shoot, you're shooting for the client. And if the client says, well, can you edit and take all the, spots off my face or whatever it happens to be, I don't have a problem with doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people complain and say, no, I would never do that, blah, blah, blah. But hey, you know what? If you're shooting for a client and they want it, because I don't see it as hurting anything. And guess what? It doesn't encroach on your style to do something like that. Nobody's going to know that you did that. As long as the overall theme and color science of the photo is what you normally do, that's fine.
I've been hired by a photographer for a family photo shoot before. And so the photographer knew kind of what they wanted. And you can't be too caught up. Well, it's like I always say, like, if you've got money, I want it. If I can provide a service for you, you have money, I have a service. I give you the service, you give me the money. That's how it works. This is capitalism. My style is for me. I don't look at, and there's nothing wrong with not agreeing with this, because everybody's different. For me, if you're giving me your money, and in this case, the photographer told me, I like cool tones. I hate cool tones. Like I like warm tones, but that's what the customer wanted. And she's a photographer. She knows what cool tones look like. And you know what? I will do that for you. And I just happen to ask permission if there's any of these that I really like to have in my portfolio. Do you mind if I edit them the way that I want and put them in my portfolio? And she, because she's a photographer, she understands. Yeah, it was totally cool. You got to give your customer what they want. Now, but like I said, there's nothing wrong with you taking a stance that saying that's not my style. And so I would recommend you to somebody else. If that's your prerogative, you do that. That's just not how I work, you know? But
Yeah.
I'll do artsy photos on my own time, but I'm on your time right now. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
Mike, I want to apologize. I see what you're saying, and I agree with you there. I'm just talking about, you know, well, I shouldn't be talking about it at all because I'm not a paid photographer. But my opinion is if you had a portfolio and people come to you, they know what they're getting, and you should do it. I agree with some edits if they want something special. For whatever reason, I don't believe in you have to be natural and whatever because that's who they are and whatever. I'm not saying take it upon yourself and make those edits, but if they want them, I don't mind it. I would do that. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah, I want the customer to be happy because I want them to tell their friends how easy I was to work with. You know, I get them exactly what they wanted.
I'm looking for a photographer to pass to Miss Agnetha. So give me just a second here. She was talking about sepia, and this guy is a phenomenal photographer, lives near me, and he shoots a lot of black and white and sepia. And he's a phenomenal photographer and all fashion kind of stuff. Let me find him real quick, Agnetha. I'll be right back here. Let's see. Why can't I find him now? Isn't that the way it goes?
Does he shoot digital?
Yes. Agnetha, I promise you I will find him and I will put a link to his. He's on Facebook. I think that I don't know if he has a YouTube channel or not. He doesn't do any live streams or anything like that or any videos that I know of. But anyway, I'll find that and I'll put it in the description. And if I fail to do that, you hold my feet to the fire until I do, Agnetha, because I am forgetful now. Yeah, Mike, I'm in agreement with you. Just like I said, I don't know. Sometimes I read these comments, and that's why I hate texting because it's so easy to mistake what the sender is actually speaking of. All right, man. I'm whooped. I am whooped.
Yeah, Mike. I don't know if I specifically requested to this or not, but yeah, some people do want true to life. It's my opinion, and I hope that customers have never or will never see this. The way that I do it is I give myself the benefit of the doubt of what's going to make them happy. I have had customers say, I want like no editing. And I'm like, okay, never, ever have I delivered something that wasn't unedited. I know for a fact whenever they say, I want it true to life, and I've had people say it, they are not going to be happy about that gigantic zit on their forehead. They're not going to be happy about that. They're not going to say, oh, that's just me. I've never had somebody say that. I've had a model that said that, and that wasn't like a paid shoot. And so I gave her exactly what she wanted. And she ended up coming back and saying, can you get rid of that? But yeah, never have I ever, like for like a paying client, I've never taken it upon myself. I'll keep the colors natural if that's what they want. But as far as like zits and acne and stray hairs, you know, I just take care of those things, and you know, they're none the wiser. I just know that they won't be happy with it. You know, they won't be happy with that mustard stain on their shirt that they didn't realize was there. I'll fix that.
All right, folks. Zach, I'm getting ready to get out of here.
I'm about ready to
I didn't
watch
take the
a
old
little
man
TV.
nap today.
Hey, you know what? I'm 31, and I usually like to take one at some point during the weekends.
Well, I guess I can still say it, even though I am retired, but we used to call it a GBNT, a Green Beret nap time.
Okay.
And I didn't take that today, so I'm kind of dragging. But
Thanks, Mike.
hey, Mike, you guys make it a great night as well. Everybody in the chat, I again, I'm humbled. I can't believe you guys want to tune in, but I think it's interesting, but I never understand why it's interesting to anybody else. I don't know why. My daughters and my wife, they get on me all the time for feeling that way or saying that. But it's been a lot of fun, and I am loving this.
I think it's absolutely great, because I like to on YouTube, you see something that, even though I make my videos unscripted, they're edited for a particular message. And what's missing, not just in the photography community, but in the world as a whole, is people don't want to talk. They want to fight, and they want to message back and forth, and they don't just want to chat. And that's what I have liked about these live streams that we've done, is we kind of have a loose topic, but we just talk, we communicate. That social aspect is missing from a lot of different aspects of daily life. And I think that's why people are popping in, and they've been great, because I can guarantee you that without you guys in the comment section, at some point things may have run dry, and then somebody's going to have to capitalize on a slow point. But because of you guys, we don't get those stoppages, and so you guys are great, as well as all the guests that have popped in.
Hey Ray, again, thanks for hanging in there, man. It's a long night for you, early morning there now, but come back and see us. We're going to continue to do this. I understand there may be some of the streams that not everybody's interested in. That's okay. But if you hang around long enough, it's going to divulge into a million other topics, and that might be something you are interested in as far as the stream goes.
Sure.
So, folks, thank you very much. Thank those that subscribed tonight. I think that's great. I'm not looking for subscriptions and likes for the money. It just makes me feel good, and it kind of motivates me to keep going. I feel like, okay, we're doing it right, and we'll just keep going. So you guys have a wonderful rest of the weekend. And for those that may not be back before Christmas, I want to say an absolutely very Merry Christmas to you folks. And I use Merry Christmas. I hope that doesn't offend anybody.
I don't care if it offends anybody.
Well, I was going to say, I don't want to say that. I hope it doesn't offend anybody, because I'm going to continue to say Merry Christmas.
You do you.
And hey, you guys are great. Thanks, Zach, for being in here tonight. And,
absolutely. Thanks for having me again, Chuck.
Yeah, my other guest, the impromptu Photo Me Ike, and he's always got something to say. I think my daughter summed it up best in one of her comments. She said, "Those eyes." He speaks through his eyes. So
yeah, his facial expressions tell you exactly where he's going to go.
Yep. So, and of course, TMIDD and Ryan Troy. So those that are still in here, go check out their channels if you haven't. And thanks for coming by. Until Wednesday, I'll see you guys then. God bless and have a wonderful night.
Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next time.